주의사항, 해당 게임은 공포 게임이며 전체 이용가가 아닙니다! 아시겠어요? 슬레이 더 프린세스는 광과민성 발작과 드문 경우 멀미를 유발할 수 있는 특수효과를 포함하고 있으니까 알아서 주의하시고요. 문제가 발생하는 경우 설정에서 해당 효과를 끄세요. 근데 이제 보니까 손가락이 보여요? 손톱이 되게 길어요. 이 어두운 곳에서 어떤 두려움을 마주하게 되더라도 부디 따뜻한 마음을 가지고 들여다보아주세요. 이게 뭔가 힌트인가? 어떤 두려움을 마주해도 따뜻한 마음, 열린 마음. 좋아. 오늘 하루 종일 열린 마음을 가지도록 해요. 아시겠죠, 여러분? 오픈 마인드. 잘못된 엔딩은 없습니다. 잘못된 선택도 없습니다. 오직 새로운 관점과 새로운 시작만이 존재합니다. 이것은 True Love Story, 사랑에 관한 이야기입니다. 곤듀님이 감옥에 갇혀 계시는군요. 해보겠습니다. 챕터 1, 공주와 영웅.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
소리 괜찮나요, 여러분?
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
공주님을 죽이지 않으면 세상이 멸망한대요. 탐색. 이제 와, 선택지 되게 많아. 멸망? 그게 무슨 소리지? 애초에 공주를 가둬놓기 때문에 공주가 세상을 끝장내려 하는 거 아니야? 아무리 그래도 공주를 죽인다니 너무 심한 거 아니야? 나 말고 다른 사람이 하면 안 돼? 됐어, 난 안 할래. 내가 세상이 끝장난다고 해도 신경 쓰지 않을 거란 가능성 생각하면 왜 이렇게 삐뚤어졌어? 이 일에 대한 보상은요? 설명해줘서 고마워. 좋았어. 혁명만세. 조용히 오두막에 간다. 돌아서서 떠난다. 와, 진짜 너무 많다. 그냥 늘 그렇듯이 1회차는 순수한 마음으로 하겠습니다. 착한 마음으로 하겠습니다. 그렇게 해서 2회차는 완전 극단적으로 이제 흑화해서 하도록 하겠습니다. 착한 마음. 근데 착한 마음도 노선이 다양하게 있단 말이죠. 공주를 가둬놓기 때문에 끝내는 거 아니야? 아무리 그래도 죽인다니? 나 말고 다른 사람이 하면 안 돼? 근데 저는 솔직히 내 진심으로 플레이를 하자면 저 보상이 궁금해요. 이 일에 보상 같은 건 없어?
Yes, but you'll have to slay her before you get it.
그렇대요. 보상을 받으려면 아무튼 죽여야 된대요. 이 일을 성공적으로 해낸다면 어떤 보상을 주는데요?
It's a secret, but I think you'll like it. It's a special reward, just for you. And whatever you think it might be, I can promise you it's going to be even better than your wildest imagination.
오케이. 그렇대요. 그렇군. 설명해줘서 고마워. 이것도 다 그럼 물어볼 수 있나봐. 멸망? 그건 무슨 소린데?
I'm talking about the end of everything as we know it. No more birds, no more trees, and perhaps most problematically of all, no more people. You have to put an end to her.
그렇대요. 공주가 왜 위험한지 설명하지 않는다면 난 안 죽일 거야. 이걸 물어보자. 어떻게 지하실에 갇힌 공주가 세상을 끝장낸다는 거야?
Don't linger on the specifics. You have a job to do here. Just get in there and do what needs to be done. We're all counting on you.
설명은 안 해주고 그냥 하래. 그 말의 증거는요?
Look, you're already on the path that leads to the cabin. Why would you be here if it weren't to complete a very important task?
그건 그렇군.
You've made it this far, you might as well reach the end of your journey.
아무튼 죽여야 된다는 건가 봐요. 나 말고 다른 사람은 안 되는 거야?
Oh, if only that were the case. But I don't make the rules.
저도 정말 그러고 싶대. 이러면 약간 삐지고 싶죠?
I'm surprised at your reluctance thus far. But unfortunately for the both of us, you're the only one who can pull this off. Like I said, I don't make the rules. No matter how much I wish I did. 이런 게 추가됐어요. 일단 오두막에 가서 공주랑 대화를 해보겠어. 만약 정말 공주가 네 말대로 사악하면 죽일 수도 있지. 하지만 직접 만나보기 전에는 단정을 못 짓겠어. 왜냐? 네가 설명을 제대로 안 해주잖아. Then I guess we'll just have to see what happens. But a word of warning.
If you go in prepared to hear her out, she could easily trap you in her web of lies. And the more you listen to her honeyed words, the harder it'll be to pull yourself out.
공주님이
Then
거짓말쟁이인가
each
봐요.
and every one of us is doomed.
오케이.
So sure, go talk to her. See how that turns out for all of us.
어떻게 되는지 보세요.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within.
공주님이
We're not
저기
gonna go
갇혀
through
있나
with
봐.
this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them.
영웅의 목소리는 또 뭐야? 내가
Ignore him.
영웅이
He
아니야?
doesn't know what he's talking about.
우와! 오두막에 들어간다.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade.
왜 여기다가
The blade
검을
is your
놔놨을까?
implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
좀 수상해요. 단검을 가져간다. 그래, 일단은
You take the
챙기자.
blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
이제 손 모양이 바뀌었어요. 커서 모양이. 칼 들고 있는 걸로.
비밀주의자 해설자 vs 입잘터는 공주. 당신의 선택은 60초 뒤에.
기대되고요. 들어갑니다.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
오! 곤듀님?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
어허.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
그녀의 흉계래요. 안녕하세요. 인사를 먼저 해야 돼요, 원래. 안녕하세요.
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Come on down.
얼른 내려오래요. 안녕하세요.
You walk down the stairs and
곤듀님!
lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
근데 곤듀님 왜 한쪽만 묶여있고 한쪽은 풀려있어요?
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
영웅님 이미 홀렸는데요?
Focus on the task at hand.
사랑에 빠졌는데요. 금사빠네.
And there you are. Are you
안녕하세요.
here to kill me or something?
아니요. 아직 그럴 생각은 없는데요. 대화하러 온 건데요.
Then why did you bring a knife with you? How about you drop it? And then we can chat.
그건 제가 그냥 좀 겁이 많아서 손에 들고 있는
She
건데요.
makes a compelling point. What if we just dropped the blade and talked? Look at her. It's not like she's a threat. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster.
양쪽이
Killing someone in cold blood
태도가
isn't very
다르네.
becoming of us.
단검을 떨어뜨린다. 단검을 단단히 쥔다. 근데 나는 쫄보라서 그렇게 말하면 무서워. 차마 단검을 놓을 순 없어. 더욱 단단히 쥘 수밖에 없단 말이야. 날 그렇게 겁박하면 나는 그저 후달되며 단검을 단단히 쥐는 것밖에
You ignore
못한단
the trembling
말이야.
in your hands and tighten your grip on the blade.
You poor thing. Your hands are shaking.
네,
Are you scared of me?
네,
Because you should be.
무서워요.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it.
예,
So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
계속 내려놓으라 하는 게 수상한데? 내려놓으면 안 될 것
She's
같은데?
If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
마무리하래. 허풍이 아니라면 공주가 우리를 죽인다면
You go
어떡하지?
into this expecting to die. You're going to
겨우
die.
그 정도 각오라면?
죽어야 된대요.
Hesitating? Why don't you drop the knife and the two of us can be civilized with each other?
단검을 떨어뜨릴 생각은 없어.
Then I'm not talking to you.
헉. 좋아, 그럼 교착 상태네.
I guess we are.
For the love of everything, just slay her already.
아저씨! 그렇게 날 몰아붙이면 난 너 진행할 수가 없다고요.
Or drop the blade. Do something.
정말 대화할 생각 없어?
Yeah, I'm sure.
누가 이기나 해보자.
For goodness sake, the two of you can't just stand around like this forever. Eventually, something is going to give, and I highly recommend that you be the one to take the initiative here.
싫어요. 이제는 끝이에요. 단검을 떨어뜨린다, 공주를 죽인다. 그렇다면 자, 생각을 해보자. 좋아, 결심했어. 단검을 떨어뜨리느냐, 공주를 그냥 죽이느냐. 근데 공주님이 내가 분명 햄찌 심장이라는 걸 눈치챘을 텐데, 내 입장도 이해해 줄 수 있을 텐데, 단검을 떨어뜨리라고 했으니까 죽여? 근데 공주님이 힘이 있대. 충분히 자기는 내가 단검 들고 있어도 너 내 힘을 쓰게 만들지 마라. 너 나 열받게 하지 마라. 이런 식으로 하면서 지금 날 마음대로 가지고 놀려고 하는 거 아니에요? 그쵸? 떨어뜨리는 순간 죽이는 거 아니에요? 그냥 공주를 죽이겠습니다. 하!
You charge the princess, blade trembling in your hand, but you've already lost the battle.
잠깐, 나 손 왜 이래? 나 손 이상해. 당신은 떨리는 손으로 단검을 쥐고 돌진하지만 이미 졌대요. 너무하네.
She casually sidesteps your thrust before knocking you to the ground with a single blow from her elbow.
알고 보니까 공주님이 주짓수 공주님이었던 거임. 위정격투기 선수 공주님이었던 거임.
We shouldn't have hesitated. But she doesn't stop there. She kicks you a few times for good measure, the pointed tip of her shoes feeling like a pickaxe against your fracturing bones, making sure you stay down. As you lie, crushed and broken on the basement floor,
잘못했어요.
the princess kneels on your throat with the kind of weight you didn't think her slight frame could possibly possess. You shouldn't have let that fear creep into your heart. You had the upper hand, and now look at you.
일진짱이었다. 곤듀는 일진짱.
Is this really the best you could do? Look at you. Completely broken. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little disappointed.
피지컬로 공주가 된다.
She applies more
그랬다.
pressure, slowly squeezing what's left of your life out of your
안돼.
lungs.
내 갈비뼈를 지금.
This is the end, isn't it?
이걸로 끝이라고?
I'm afraid it is.
이렇게 유감이요? 이렇게 아무것도 못 하고요?
Everything goes dark, and you die.
안돼! 아니 난 나름 머리를 쓴 건데. 챕터 2 성체. 끝이 아니구나.
You're on a path
뭐야?
in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin
야 이거
is a
회기물이다.
princess. You're here to slay her. If
이번-
you don't, it will be the
이번엔
end
반드시.
of the world.
이 싸움을 이기고 내가 공주가 되겠다. 잠깐, 이거 일어났던 일 아니야? 난 죽었을 텐데 왜 내가 여기 있는 거지?
I can assure you that you're not dead. And to answer your second question, you're here to slay the princess.
그런 일이 아예
Literally told
없대.
you that a second ago. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. You know I can hear you, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me. What does it matter what he knows? There's nothing
절망의
we can do
목소리.
to stop her. She's just going to kill us again.
목소리가 절망의 목소리가
She is
됐어.
not going to kill you unless you let her. But slaying the princess and saving the world is going to be much more difficult than it has to be if you spend the whole time second-guessing yourself.
왜 내가 네 말을 들어야 되지? 이 모든 일에 의미가 있긴 해.
Those are two very different questions, but fine, I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me. You died last time, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me. Of course we died. We couldn't land a single blow on her, and she
안
broke
돼도 못
every
때리고.
bone in our body before she decided to let us die.
아,
What were we supposed to do to stop her then? What are we supposed to do to stop her now? It's pointless.
아,
She's just a princess. Slaying her shouldn't have been difficult, but congratulations. And I believe your other question was something along the lines of, oh, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences.
행.
What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. The princess killed us and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me. Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself? Or were you
그러게.
instead transported to a different world entirely? If it's the latter, what do you think happened after you died? Do you think the
멸망했겠지.
people there lived happily ever after? Or do you think that the princess, left unhindered, brought about the end to everyone and everything, just like I
근데
told you?
공주가 그렇게 세고 내가 이렇게 뭐 하지도 못하고 갈비뼈 다 으스러져서 죽는데 왜 내가 방해꾼이라고 할만하긴 한 거냐?
If she ended the entire world, why should we even bother? We might as well just walk up to that cabin, break her chains and let her do
아니면
whatever
차라리
she
공주의
wants.
수하에 들어가는 건
It's all
어때?
the same.
약간 내가 지금 내 생각에 내가 고작 그 단검 하나 들고 공주님한테 가서 덤벼봐야 이야 한순간 해설자 왈 이미 졌습니다 이러는데 그냥
Just
납작
because she's
엎드리고
capable
부하가
of ending
되는
the
건
world
어떨까?
doesn't
차라리
mean you're
오른팔
capable of slaying her. Both of those things can be true at the same time. So chin up. I believe in you.
공주에 대해 이야기해보자.
Just be quick about it.
오! 지난번엔 공주가 날 죽였어. 그런 일이 다시 생기지 않으리라고 어떻게
Like I
확신하지?
said, if she killed you, it was probably because you didn't listen to me.
아... 공주가 한 짓이라고 날 죽도록 팬 것뿐인데 어떻게 세상을 멸망시킨다는
She
거야?
just can. We're not. We might as well just pledge
싹싹
ourselves to
빌자.
her and stop
나랑
pretending that we're
같은
capable of doing
마음이잖아.
anything in this situation. She probably doesn't even need to try to overpower us.
내 생각이
Can
읽히고
we tone down
있어요.
the pessimism just a smidge?
어떻게
I'm
알았지?
not being a pessimist. I'm just being realistic.
들켰다. 싹싹 빌
You're
생각이었는데.
being annoying.
나 짜증나는
Just
성격이야?
ignore their bickering and whatever you do, don't pledge yourself to
싹싹
her.
빌지
I
말래요.
cannot stress enough how absolutely catastrophic that would
왜
be for
그게 왜
everyone.
재앙적인 결과가 되는데? 누가 가뒀어?
People locked her in that
사람들이
basement, and I
가뒀어.
told you what this place is. It's a path in the woods.
이제 막 짜증낸다 나한테. 가뒀다면 왜 그 사람들이 안 죽인 거야? 왜 나한테 죽이려고 하는 거야?
I'm not supposed to say this, but it's because you're special. You're the only person capable of doing this.
I
Call it
like
a
special.
prophecy, if that helps. It's just the way things are.
나 전설의 인물이야?
Oh, I didn't know we were special.
아,
Of course you're special. Why else would you be here?
그래.
Who cares if you think we're special? As far as I can tell, the only thing special about us is that we get to experience
아니야, 다행히
painfully
절망의
dying
목소리가 내
all
마음을 완전히
over
읽는 건
again.
아니었어. 난 그 한마디로 약간 기가 살아났어. 숨기는 건 뭐야?
I told you everything you need to know. Going into more detail would just overcomplicate
이거
an otherwise
팔랑거리는 편.
very simple situation, and the less you know about her, the better.
모를수록 좋대. 오케이.
Great. Now, if you don't mind, the whole world is waiting with bated breath for you to save it from ruin.
오케이. 오도하게 간다.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her.
오케이.
Cheating? Why would she even bother? She didn't need to do anything like that last time. She caught us off guard last time. We'll be fine. Let's just keep our wits about us.
오케이.
At least one of you still has a shred of sense. Just make sure you listen to him and not that whiner.
징징이.
If that's what you want, I guess I don't have a say here.
진짜 기운 빠지긴 하네. 절망아, 힘내봐. 우리 특별하자잖아.
The interior of the cabin is
바뀌었다.
larger and more grandiose than its humble exterior would suggest. The only furniture of note is a massive marble altar with a pristine
한 번
blade
살해에
perched on its
실패해서
edge.
이 성이 더 단단해진 건가?
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
실패하면
Why do
실패할수록
we feel so small?
아 우리가 작아진
We
거야?
don't feel small. We are small.
아우 진 빠져. 벽에 걸린 거울.
That's because there isn't a mirror. There's the altar, the blade sitting on the altar, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here.
어? 거울이 안 보이는데 여기 거울이 있는데.
There's definitely a mirror. There isn't. Who cares if there's a mirror? We're all going to die anyway.
여기 있는데.
For the last time, you're not going to die unless you let it happen. And luckily for you, there isn't a mirror. So no one needs to worry about confronting it, though, for what it's worth.
봐야겠다
probably.
거울.
Do you not know what we look like? He knows. He just doesn't have the heart to tell.
거울은 있어.
As do I. And yeah, I'm not lying to you.
거울을 보자.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. This really isn't funny.
거울을 닦는다.
You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall.
어
I hope you know
없어졌어.
how ridiculous you look right now. We should count ourselves lucky. Some things are better left unseen.
이게 뭐야? 어? 이게 뭐야? 손을 뻗으니까 없어졌어. 내가 헛것을 본다는 건가?
Maybe that's because you haven't actually been here. I hope this means you'll finally drop that ridiculous past life.
해설자는 자꾸 내가 죽은 적도 살해당한 적도 없대.
Been killed by the princess.
그럼 해설자 말이 정답인 건가?
You take the blade from the altar. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the
아
world
맞다.
without
싹싹
a
빌려면
weapon.
단 거 만들고 가야 되는데. 아 곤주님 이건 그냥 장식이에요. 아
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a spiral staircase. Its steps almost as deep as you are tall. The smell of incense drifts up from below. Huh. This is actually kind of nice. It's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her booming voice rolls up the stairs.
Is that a guest I hear? Don't linger on the stairs. Come down and witness me.
헐 더
You
세졌다.
weren't kidding when you said it was booming.
헉
She wasn't like this last time. We need to get down there.
공주
She
홈투
wants us
중이라
to see
건드리면 안
her.
된다고?
We need to see her.
절망이는 또 공주가 우릴 보고 싶어 한다고 만나야만 한대.
Should we be worried about your sudden change in attitude?
그니까
Just a few minutes ago, you were going on about how pointless everything was. Now you want to go down there. It
이상하다.
doesn't matter what that little voice says. He's not the one making the decisions. Though if his ramblings get you to the princess, they get you to the princess.
아 세이브가 있었어. 진작 해놓을걸. 젠장 내려가자 일단.
Making your way down the spiral staircase is a time-consuming and exhausting effort, every step requiring you to clamber over one edge before dropping to the next. But soon the end comes. The princess towers over you, almost glowing in the weak starlight, her figure framed
공주님,
by a
팬티
stained
보여요.
glass window. Her long hair billows around her, and a chain binds her wrist to the far wall.
이제 비행을 하기
The chain
시작했네.
is nothing to her. It might as well be a toy for all the good it would do. I told you it was pointless to resist her.
The little bird has returned to me. I wonder what he wants.
아
You
공주님
brought that knife again, even though you know it's useless. Such charming audacity. Drop it.
또 막상 이 앞에 오니까 고민되네. 버린다. 더 세게 움켜진다. 아 근데 또 저 터질 것 같은데. 아까보다 더 세 보이는데 심지어. 그냥 버려버리고 납작 엎드릴지 더 세게 움켜질지. 근데 이 게임을 시작하기 전에 이 게임은 사랑에 대한 이야기라고 했잖아. 그러면 쫄아서 버리는 것보다는 끝까지 맞서 싸우는 모습을 보여줘야 긍지는 살아있구나 하면서 호감 포인트 플러스 1 되는 거 아니야? 아니야 일단 말 한번 들어보자. 너무 무서우니까.
The blade slips from your fingers and
허달달.
clatters uselessly to the floor.
허달달.
We didn't have to do that.
그럴 필요 없었다고?
And
왜?
yet you did. She's so much more than us. You wouldn't understand what it feels like to be in her presence.
절망이는 이미 슬슬 기고 있어.
Oh, I understand what's going on, and you'd better snap yourself out of it.
Neil.
닐, 꿇어라. 꿇는다. 싫어. 딴 건 버렸지만 꿇는 건 싫어.
지루한 건 꺾이는 마음.
근데 싫어하면은 발로 밟아서 내 머리 바닥에 박을 것 같거든요. 그냥 얌전히 꿇을게요.
On her command, you fall to the floor, knees painfully connecting with hard stone.
죄송합니다.
That's my good little bird.
넴,
Now, why don't we talk?
넴 말씀하소서.
The last time we met, you couldn't even scratch me.
넴,
And yet here you are again, trying to succeed where you've already catastrophically failed.
넴.
What draws you back here beyond the empty halls of death?
그게 말입죠.
Speak.
그것이
Last
말입죠.
time we met. I suppose that lends credence to our
그래.
conversation in the woods.
해설자가 기억을
Still,
못하는
whatever you
거구나.
do, don't tell her
그러면
why you're here.
와, 그러면 딱
It's best
믿을
not
수
to
있는
give her
구석이
any
아무것도
ideas.
없네. 그냥 말하자. 당신이 세상을 멸망시킬 거라고 들었어요.
You weak-willed buffoon.
Is that so?
네.
The princess closes her eyes
공주
in
눈을
contemplation.
감고 생각합니다.
Something about that thought wraps itself around my heart. It feels like a fundamental truth to my being that I'd somehow forgotten.
내 이 말로 인해서 각성하게 되는 건가?
The collapse of the old is a necessary prelude to the birth of the new. And the world as it is now is overdue for alterations. It's time for me to seize my destiny. And you, little bird, will help me seize it.
근데 내 목적은 달성했다. 곤주님의 오른팔이 될 수 있을 것 같은데? 너는 날 도울 것이래.
She's inevitable. There's nothing else for us to do but
내 마음의 소리다.
maybe she'll be nice to us.
맞아. 어쩌면 곤주님이 나에게 상냥하게 대해주실지도 몰라. 결정을 내리기 전에 질문이 있는데요.
Know the limits of your privilege, little bird.
감히 질문을 해서 화나셨다.
There's an empty place at my side for you to fill, if you'll have it. But it is not a place for an equal. It is a place for something worthy to be kept. A priest, perhaps, or a pet.
제게 무슨 일을 시키실 건데요?
All you have to do is break these chains and set me free.
저 족쇄를 지 힘으로 못 끊는 거야? 그냥 그렇게 강하면 알아서 족쇄를 끊으시면 되잖아요.
Don't be rude. Of course she can. It's not rude to question someone who's apparently trying to end the world.
그래, 그 정도는 물어볼 수
That's
있지.
exactly why it's rude. We should know our place.
I can, easily. But that isn't what I want to do.
곤드님만의 작은 덕기가 될게요.
The story of a terrible and bountiful God unbounded of her own will is no story at all. It's not worthy of everything I am or everything I'm bound to become. It isn't even worthy of what I was. The destruction in Genesis that's to follow in my wake is deserving of a song that can echo for eternity.
아니 그냥 족쇄 네 힘으로 풀면 되지 않느냐는 말에 파괴와 창조 어쩌고 저쩌고도 왜
The song of you being so struck by my glory, so overwhelmed by
가스라이팅
what I
당한다.
am,
가스라이팅 당한다.
that you and from your act of utter devotion and submission
곤유님
springs a
혀가
new
기시네요.
dawn, a better submit now.
곤유님 슬슬 쫄리나 보지?
Because in the end, no matter how vainly you struggle against me, my will triumphs over yours.
그렇다면 네가 세상을 멸망시킬 운명이라 해서 정말 그래야 하는 건 아니야.
This isn't about desire. This is about what I am. And I have little interest in discussing destiny with one that cannot see the divine truth that shines in my heart.
그러세요 그럼. 네가 세상을 멸망시키는 걸 도울 생각 없어. 새로운 세상 같은 거에도 관심 없어. 그 족쇄 하나도 네 힘으로 못 푼다면야.
I say, perhaps you need another lesson in submitting to your betters.
또 얻어 터져야 되는 건가? 아니!
Pick up that needle.
Do it. It's what she wants. No objections here.
저도 반대는 아닙니다?
Don't know what she's planning, and I don't like that we don't know
어머,
what she's
다들
planning.
단검을
But
주우라고 한다.
as your eye falls on the blade, you feel a weight. Some divine hand that sits unperceived by your senses.
세뇌당했다.
But then
우와! 주울 수밖에 없어.
you reach forward and grasp the
부친.
blade.
Stand.
This one's easy. See? This isn't so bad. Okay, yeah. We can do that. You can
일어난다.
feel a creaking tension between body and will as you slowly rise to your feet. Like two foes, the princess eyes you with soft contemplation. The moment seems to last a lifetime, the silent anticipation of what's to come, dragging out the long, painful seconds. But all silences are broken eventually.
To define me is to claim we stand on level ground. We do not. You are quiet shadow, while I am brilliant radiance. Take that knife in your hand and slit your throat.
What?
막
You don't have to listen to her. You're armed.
오!
Just
해설
steel
장판!
your nerves, step forward, and end this.
끝장을 낸다!
Oh, we'll end this all right. Your hand lifts the blade and brings it towards your throat. Okay, I apologize for the unclear language. End her.
오! 이것밖에 안 돼 근데! 스스로 목숨을 끊는다! 헐!
No, you can't just slay yourself. You're perfectly healthy and capable, and all you have to do is ignore her and do what has to be done. The blade and the hand that wields it remain firmly locked in place until you change your mind and decide to do literally
역세네.
anything else.
세네 역세네.
Look at you quaking against my will. An ant defying a god.
팔이 되게 바게트 같다고요? 바게트 인간이에요.
It's pointless to resist. In the end, everything submits to oblivion.
아,
But you're not the one resisting me, are you? There's something else in there. Is that a person? No, it used to be a person. It's something different now.
Is she talking about you? That's impossible.
Oh.
She's not supposed to be able to interact with me.
You're a small one, aren't you? A shriveling little worm stretched beyond its
들켰다.
limits, trying to control things that it can't understand.
No. What are you talking about? I'm just...
I don't care what you are. You're mine.
저렇게 희말이 없이 이렇게 잡혀갔어.
You bring the blade to your neck.
아 미친.
You slice through soft flesh, severing veins and arteries, your blood flowing freely down your body. It's a painful lesson in obedience, but the pain...
No.
When I see you again, you'll free me from my chains and deliver me to the destiny that lies beyond this place.
저주 건다.
You will. I promise.
I know you will.
No. 이런 식으로 나오면
Everything
반항할
goes
거야.
dark, and you die.
이런 식으로 나오면 반항할 거야. 챕터 3 신격화.
You're on a path in the woods.
바뀌었다.
At the end
어머!
of that path-
시작부터 여기야.
Oh, let me guess. At the end of that path is a cabin.
Excuse me? This is the third time we've been here. This is
편집증의
hardly
목소리.
a path in the woods. It's all big and weird. Another witness to her
하나
radiance.
추가됐다.
Her hour is
이렇게 죽을 때마다
soon
자아가 추가되는 건가?
I'm here to keep him in check. I'm sick of prying fingers digging around in our head, and he's making it all too easy for them to get in. This is bad.
Oh, is it now? I hadn't noticed. Do you need a primer, Mr. Amnesiac?
No, I'm quite all right, but if all of you would take a moment to settle down, there's something important I'd like to get across to you before it's too late.
Is it about the princess? We already know all about the princess.
Not to be trusted, that one. No, I mean, yes, it's about the princess, but whatever you think I'm going to say, it's probably not that. You're not to be trusted either.
아무도 안 믿어.
Look,
편집이.
fine, just out with her already, yeah? But if I hear the words, "You're here to slay her," or "If you don't, it will be the end of the world," you'll have lost speaking privileges.
You two are just wasting your time. It's all going to end when we open that cabin door, which means it's already all over. Okay, that nonsense he's going on about, that's what we need to talk about. You've been here before, obviously.
So you have met us. Because boy, were you in denial about that last time.
No, I haven't met you.
제가
but reality
끼어들
is
구석이
clearly
없군요.
falling apart
지들끼리
at the moment,
떠드느라.
And the only reason that would happen is if you knew things you weren't supposed to know. What the hell are you talking about? He's talking about those weird marble trees and how wrong. Yes, exactly. Whatever you did before gave her far too much power. So you've got to cut it out, get to that cabin and slay her before things get any more out of hand. We've built a new god, and she is limitless. What are our thoughts doing that? Make her small, make her small, make her small, make her small. Shit! What if I'm doing it wrong? What if I'm
얘도
making her
이상한
even stronger?
애예요.
Do you hear
정상인
those
애가
two?
없어요.
They're runaway thoughts. I'm only giving you the sliver of information I'm giving you now because things are already deep in the shitter. This was my last card to play and it looks like it's already made things worse. So hurry, cabin, now.
이번에는 해설자의 말을 좀 들어볼까? 그대로 멈춰선다도 있어. 내게 대답해주기 전까지 나 오두막에 안 가. 난 누구야?
As you finish your inane question, the ground quakes beneath your feet. You feel an unyielding force pulling at you and your surroundings. Even the earth beneath you seems to shift, your feet unable to grip solid ground as you're dragged forward along with everything else.
The end of everything. The beginning of something new. The moment we open that door.
늦었다.
Be free. Stop believing everything you hear. We just have to get our thoughts in order. We just have to think straight.
Any, words of warning?
You already know everything you need to know.
들어간다.
As you step forward, the cabin explodes.
오두막이 없는데요.
You're flung backwards, violently slammed into a tree as the breeze rains down around you. You watch in paralyzed awe and terror as the princess emerges, her body unfurling from some
곤듀님?
vast space as she stands upright.
대체 어디가
to face
곤듀님?
you. The world bows to her. The ruined landscape shifts, trees and stone and the ground itself succumbing to her gravity, orbiting her like a great black hole.
Finally, the little bird has set me free. This is always how it was going to end. And this is always how it was going to begin.
There's a loud thunk from the tree behind you as something embeds in its shattered bark. Your pristine blade. It's
될까?
now or never.
줬다 심어놨는데 될까? 유일한 기회? 안 될 것 같은데. 해봐.
Yeah, screw all of this. I'm with you. A real god wouldn't need us as part of her plan.
그래, 맞아.
You'll never make it to her. And even if you do, what could you possibly
이게 전설의 검인가 보지? 몰라, 믿어봐.
Do what we were always supposed to. We'll take this blade. We'll sink
햄찌만큼의
it into her
타격이요?
heart. Look at the way everything's being flung around her. If we just throw ourselves in her direction, I don't know.
그래,
Maybe it'll work. Maybe none of this is real.
그래,
Maybe we can do whatever we
그래,
want
모르겠다.
to
배째자.
do. With a forceful tug, you
에라이,
yank the blade
모르겠다.
out from the tree.
될 대로 되라지.
You close your eyes and take a deep breath. And for a moment you can
오!
feel everything around
나도
you.
뭔가 각성해.
Like you're a part of everything. Everything is a part of you.
모든 게 느껴져 갑자기. 모든 감각이 열렸어.
And then your eyes open, settling on your target.
약간 쫄려. 아 쳐다보지 마. 차라리 쳐다보지 마. 쳐다보지 마. 눈 마주치면 무서우니까 쳐다보지 마. 가자!
You launch yourself towards the princess. You can feel her gravity envelop you, carrying you from the ground into the violent swirl of her orbit.
Even now you defy me. Do it then. Show me what you think it takes to end what's destined to end everything.
Yeah, do it. Show her.
끝장을 낸다.
Why do I feel so cold?
뭐야? 뭐야? 그러나 당신은 그녀를 죽이지 못한다. 무언가가 그녀를 데려가고 그 자리에 무언가를 남겨두었다. 헉! 거울이야!
Oh, where did she go?
She's gone. Is this the end of the world? Did she end herself? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
해설자가 사라졌어.
It is. Does that mean the world ended? Yeah. No voice needling us anymore. Feels good, but I also feel itchy. Figures the world would end and leave us with all this nothing.
거울을 들여다보자.
Something dreadful about it. I don't think you should.
왜?
It's calling us, and not in a good way.
그러고
I don't
있대.
want to look at us. You're right. She's gone. It's just us and that. Awful. I should feel better with
암살
her gone.
지켜보기였던 것 같은데 도전 과제?
I don't. Feel anxious. Does anyone else feel? I'm
다가간다.
begging you, don't do.
지금까지 거울 보고 겁낸 적
It's
없었잖아.
different now. It feels. I don't know. Final.
무언가의 마지막 The End of Something이었대요. 제목. 당신은 거울에 다가간다. 자신을 바라본다. 당신이 손을 뻗자 침묵이 내린다. 모두들 사라졌다. 하지만 거울은 그대로 있다. 거울에 무엇이 있는지 확인할 때다. The body, it's you. 당신이에요. 당신은 텅 빈 공간 안에 혼자 서 있다. 고요하다. 오두막에 간다? 당신은 오두막에 있다. 그녀에게 다가간다. 쿤주님?
Something finds me in the long quiet and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel.
예? 제가요? 너는 무엇이지?
I am solitary lights in an empty city. What are you?
고독한 빛? 무슨 뜻이죠?
Thoughts without connections. A dim and nascent network. I wish to be more.
예? 넌 내가 뭐라 생각해?
I think that you are like me.
예?
We are oceans, reduced to shallow creeks.
연약한 그릇이 뭔데요?
Yes, nerves and fibers to feel the worlds beyond, perspectives to make my own. This one is dominance, a figure capable of bending everything to her will. She will make for a terrifying and divine heart. Do not mourn her, for she would not be able to mourn you.
이게 세상의 멸망이야?
How can the world have ended if we are talking?
그러게. 혹시 해설자에 대해 알아?
You are the only thing I have ever known. The space we're in is vacant. Nothing comes here but us.
네가 공주를 죽이려고 보낸 거야? 아니면 네가 날 여기 가둔 거야?
I have only just now stirred to consciousness.
아, 그래?
I could not have trapped you here, and I too yearn to be free.
바깥 세상에 대해 알아?
I know only that they are.
아, 바깥 세상이 존재하긴 하나 봐. 네가 공주야?
She is part of me, and part of me is her.
네가 나고 내가 너야? 뭔 소리야? 네가 처음부터 공주였다는 거야? 아니면 네가 공주를 네 일부분으로 만든 거야?
You speak in circles. Does it matter where one thing begins and another ends?
중요하지. 그녀를 풀어줘.
I'm sorry. There are some changes that can never be undone.
헉.
There are some tears that can never be unshed. This is not a place that can hold a fragment of a concept.
다시 저에게로
The
돌아올
moment she
운명이었어요?
arrived here, she was going to return to me.
아, 그럼 원래 일부였다는 거야?
I promise that it doesn't hurt.
우린 서로 아는 사이야?
You are familiar, but you are not me. I feel sadness, longing, hope as I witness you.
아, 난 얘의 그릇은 아니지만 날 보면 슬픔과 갈망과 희망이 느껴져? 이제 어떻게 되지?
Nothing as we are, but I know that there are worlds beyond us, and that we are meant to reach them.
그것에 도달하기 위함이라고?
There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to.
믿으면 망각하게 할 수 있대요.
Bring me more perspectives, so that I may be whole. And perhaps then we will know our freedom.
공주의 그릇을 더 가져오면 완전해진다고? 헐. 내가 널 죽일 방법을 찾을까봐 두렵진 않니?
I have not lived. I am not afraid to die.
살아있지도 않으니 죽음도 두렵지 않대. 난 어디까지 잊어버리게 돼?
Everything, until we meet again.
찐 회귀, 기억을 잃은 회귀. 네 조각을 얼마나 더 찾아야 하는데?
More than you have found, but less than there are to find. I am infinite. The rest will find their own way home.
그런가 봐. 이게 다 공주들인가 봐. 그 조각들인가 봐. 난 공주를 죽여달라 부탁받았어. 내가 널 도우면 넌 세상을 파괴할 거야?
You ask of things that cannot be done. To destroy is merely to reshape,
이 무서운 소리 한다
to
얘.
remold.
야, 의미론적인 말이잖아. 널 도우면 어떤 걸 할 생각이야?
How can I know? I am flickers in something sprawling and
어허.
unilluminated.
똑바로 대답 안 하지. 내가 허락하지 않겠다면?
Then we will be here forever, as we are now. Unfinished, dry, hollow.
어허. 돌아갈 생각 없어.
If you need time, then I'll wait with you.
같이 기다려준대. 영원히 기다린다.
You are as I am now, and forever is a long time to remain undone. I am not you, but I know that I would return before forever was finished. What textures will you weave for yourself to occupy forever? Will you place the images of you and
기운이
I into a box
기운이
for
싹
safekeeping?
빠지는 목소리세요, 공주님.
If you close
점점
them,
힘이 빠지고
will you
있어요.
become another you and another one? An imaginary pattern repeating itself until it can no longer bear the weight of its hand-drawn cage. You'll always come back to the box
뭐라는지도 모르겠고.
because you'll always want to know
Babe?
what it means.
아, 이게 그 상자. 상자에 담아놓는 거. 기다릴게요가 이 의미인가 봐. 대박. 영원히 기다릴게요. 허걱. 진짜 영원히
You have
기다리겠네.
returned to me.
돌아왔군요.
Though you were gone mere moments, I never left your side.
허걱. I never left your side. 나는 당신을 떠난 적이 없어요. 달성됐어요. 아니, 알겠어요. 이제는 이거밖에 없어요. 선택지가. 좋아, 있게 해줘.
She asks that I tell you to remember her.
방금 그 곤듀님이 자기를 기억해달라고 부탁해요.
You won't.
깜짝이야, 씨. 모든 것이 어두워지고 당신은 죽는다. godly vessel. 신격화된 그릇?
In the woods.
The real Slay the
And at the
Princess
end of that
starts here.
path
이제
is a cabin.
진짜 슬레이 더 프린세스가
And in
이제부터
the basement of
시작됩니다.
that cabin
그래요. 헐.
is a princess.
그러네. 이제야 내용을 알고 가는
You're here
거니까.
to slay her.
이제 시작이네. 좋아. 그러면은 해보자.
That's the spirit.
그래, 바로 죽여보자고.
You make your way up the short
미안해.
path
나
to the
때문에
cabin.
놀랐지.
We're not going to go through with this.
제가
right?
제일
Ignore
쫄보예요.
him.
여러분들보다도 한 3배 더 쫄보라고 보시면 돼요. 진짜 심장이 햄찌라니까요.
The
뒤졌다.
interior of the cabin blade.
알았어. 가져간다. 바로 죽인다. 바로 죽여버릴 거야. 나
The
몰라.
door to the basement. Her voice.
Who's there?
나다.
She sounds. Don't let it fool you.
계단을 내려간다.
Good. You're still listening to reason.
그래. 해보자고 해설자 친구.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes.
She's so coldly beautiful.
Focus on the task.
정신
And
차려.
there you are. Are you here to kill me or
결의를
something?
굳히고 다가간다.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
Oh? No talking then?
그래.
Fine. What even makes you think you can kill me?
난 전설의 용사이기 때문이지.
I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right?
그래.
And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it.
필요 없어.
So, you should just drop it.
She's
입이
unarmed. If you hesitate now,
혀가
it'll be
길다.
too late.
공주를 죽인다.
You lunge forward without a
또 왜
moment's
저런
hesitation.
표정이야?
You feel flesh easily give way and look down to see your blade already sinking deep into her heart.
Oh,
반응이 근데 이런 게 아니고 부슉.
this is it, isn't it?
네.
I'm
끝이에요.
almost embarrassed. I should have seen that coming. But I have to wonder. Do you actually believe this was enough to kill me?
네?
It's like she's convinced she can't die.
이렇게 하면 죽는 거 아니에요?
Yes, even as she lays there dying, she entirely believes herself
공주도
to be
회귀야.
alive and well.
공주도 회귀하는 걸 아나 봐. 자기가
But it's over,
회귀하는
isn't
거.
it? She stopped breathing moments ago.
어머,
That arrogant look still plastered on her face.
어머.
But is it over? Really?
아니야, 안 끝날 것
over?
같은데? 당연히 아니지. 너무 쉬웠잖아.
It's over. Don't get all worked up.
아, 그래?
We should make sure. What's the harm in checking for a pulse? I really don't think you should do that.
만지지
And
말래.
why shouldn't we? Is there something you're not telling us? I've told you everything that's happened with complete accuracy. The princess is dead. Your blade pierced her heart. There's no coming back from that.
맥박을 재면은 뭐 어떻게 될 것 같은데? 그냥 떠나야 될 것 같은데, 그치? 그래, 이번엔 나는 해설자 형이랑 진하게 한 편 먹겠어. 난 해설자 형 말만 들을래. 그래, 네 말이 맞아. 죽었어. 여기서 나가자.
Yes, exactly.
난
It's over. With your work done, you make your way back up the stairs, closing the door to the basement behind you.
오케이.
Why do I feel like we've done something terrible?
아니야, 할 일을 한
You
거야.
did kill someone. Greater good or not, something would be very wrong with you if you didn't feel at least a little bad. But it was for the greater good. But that day isn't today. Let's just get out of here.
떠난다.
You open the cabin door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom. Only a world saved from certain doom isn't what you find.
젠장?
Instead, what you find is nothing at all. Where a
뭐야?
lush forest stood mere minutes ago, the only thing in front of you now is the vast emptiness of
오두막.
some place far away.
하!
What happened?
저 공주가 이 세상인 거 아니야?
Everyone is fine. It's just that you and the cabin are now far away from them. Don't worry. You'll be safe here. This is good. Everyone is happy. You'll be happy.
공주가 죽으면 이 오두막이랑 합쳐서 통째로 나까지 저 세상이랑 분리가 된다고요? 세상을 구한 것 치고는 결말이
This
별론데?
isn't an ending. In fact, now that the princess has been slain, endings are a thing of the past. No. This is the beginning of eternity.
돌아...
Your reward.
이게 리워드라고요?
This is what's best for everyone. Trust me.
해설자 양반.
Time passes. You can't be sure if it's days or months or years or even decades. It's all a wonderful, boring blur. You've never been happier.
뭔 소리야. 뭘 이보다 행복할 수가 없어.
Hey, We're not just gonna stay here forever, right?
아, 여기를 세이브해야겠다. 난 행복해? 우린 행복해? 아니야, 여기서 나갈 방법이 있어?
I do, but you're probably not going to like it.
왜?
The blade. We can use the blade to get out of this.
단검?
I can hear everything you say, little voice. There's only one thing it would want you to use that blade on.
아,
And I'm afraid that thing is you, dear hero.
자살하자고?
He's right. It's the only way out.
아,
Do you hear that? It wants to take this happiness away from you. It wants this wonderful place to end.
아니 근데 와,
Do you not?
미쳐버리지 않을까?
There's more
여기
for us to
있으면?
do. And the only way for us to do it is to take that blade and use it. Don't you dare.
아, 또 둘이 싸우네. 단검을 사용하면 우리가 죽는 거 아니야?
How astute. You are absolutely correct. Using the blade to kill yourself would kill you, and you shouldn't do it. In a sense, we die, but looking at things from another angle, are we even really alive anymore? This place, it's nothing. It's absolutely nothing. It's just the same thing, constantly, forever. I know this is out there, but trust me, I know using the blade will work.
아, 그래? 영웅이니까 믿어볼만 하나?
That little voice didn't want you to slay the princess. It didn't want you to be happy.
영웅이랑 편을 먹어야 되나? 하... 네 감에 죽음까지 감수할 생각은 없어? 하...
I suppose we've got all the time in the world for you to change your mind.
왜?
More happy time passes, though the word begins to lose its meaning. Time, that is, not happy. Happy still has plenty of meaning. Please shake yourself out of it. We have to get out
아,
of
그냥
here.
시간만 흘러.
The little voice's pleas fall on deaf ear. Eventually you pass into a blissful state of pure existence. Though words like eventually and pass ceased to have any meaning to you
와,
long
죽을
before
수도
that
없어.
shift,
이게 뭐야? 해피엔딩 해냈어요. 당신이 모두를 구했어요.
You cannot go further astray.
돌아오지 않는 길에 어떤 기점을 지나는 건 이제 된 거래. 그래, 행복하진 않군. 네가 내게 마지막으로 말을 건 사람이라 그런 건 아니야.
Good, because I have an idea. The blade.
기점은 지났으니까 이제 다른 걸 하라는 건가 봐. 확실한 거겠지?
If we die, I made this happy little place for you. Is this not a good enough reward for saving the world? An eternity of bliss? You ingrate? Fine. Whatever. For the first time since time stopped meaning anything, you throw open the door to the basement and walk down the stairs. The princess's body is dust and bones, though the blade you used to slay her is still as pristine as the day you first held it. You pick up the blade, you stab yourself, and you die. The end. Nice knowing you.
챕터 2 유령. 오!
You're on a path in the woods.
돌아왔다.
And at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her.
또 죽이래. 이제 알겠다. 네 속임수는 더 이상 소용없어.
My tricks? What on earth are you talking about? If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. That's fine.
냉혈의 목소리.
It wasn't very hard to kill her last time.
오!
We'll just do it again. Well, if for whatever reason you're going to insist that this has happened before...
오! 돌아서서 떠난다 해볼까 이제?
Oh. Do you think there's something else out there? Alright. Let's see what we can find. It's bound to be more interesting than doing the same thing. Seriously? You're just going to turn around and leave? Do you even know where you're going?
조용히 걸어간다.
Fine. I suppose you just quietly continue down the path away from the cabin. That's strange. It looks like this path
거기야.
How convenient.
이 자식이.
How quaint. He really wants us to go in there.
다시 떠난다. 또 다시.
You're really keen on wasting everyone's time, aren't you? It's remarkably
됐어.
selfish, if you ask me. I've all but fine. You turn around and trek back down the path you came.
Wait, something isn't right. Can you still hear me? You're supposed to wind up back at the cabin again. But everything is getting fuzzy.
멀어진다.
What's going on? Where are we?
화면 변한다. 안 돼.
I don't know. It feels like
안 돼. 여기만큼은 안 돼. 제일 오고 싶지 않은 세계가 실타래처럼 풀려 없어진다. 물리적인 실체는 이상한 질감의 공허로 대체된다. 고요하다. 당신은 또다시 정막에 와 있다. 기억이 되돌아온다. 아이 쉣. 멀리서 수많은 존재가 웅성거리는 소리가 들려온다. 무언가 다가오면서 진동이 느껴진다. 당신이 이 공허에 무엇이 살고 있는지 이미 알고 있다. 으아! 손가락들이 공허를 가로질러 더듬거린다. 어느 손끝이 당신의 의식을 발견하여 당신을 감싸기 시작한다. 당신은 이제 혼자가 아니야. 혼란스러움. 왜 이곳에 있는 거죠? 전 아직 완성되지 않았어요. 저항감. 당신의 영혼을 둘러싼 껍데기를 긁어보다가 포기하는 손가락들. 내가 공주가 아니니까 그런가 봐. 좌절감. 이 그릇은 당신으로 가득해요. 제가 기어 들어가기 위해 저는 비어있는 그릇이 필요하다고요. 저와 같은 모양으로 짜여진 비어진 그릇이요. 단호함. 안 돼요. 돌아갈 수 없어요. 그곳으로는. 후회. 이 세계는 더 이상 복구할 수 없어요. 새로운 걸 짜야 하잖아요. 흔들거리는 손가락. 이곳에는 아직 실타래가 많이 남아있어요. 그것을 낭비하지 말아요. 제가 우리의 유일한 구원의 열쇠예요. 다시 돌아가기.
You're on a path in the you're here to slay her.
그러면 여기서 다시 해보자. 불러오기를 했어야 됐는데.
You make your way up.
완장하겠네.
The interior of the cabin blade.
이번엔 검을 가지지 않고 들어가 보는 건 어때?
The door to the basement. Her voice.
Hello? Is someone there?
목소리가 바뀌었어.
It's hypnotizing. It's
이
the kind of
자식은 또
voice you only have to hear
목소리만
once to
듣고
remember it for
또
the rest.
시작이다.
Don't let it fool you.
구해주러 왔어.
How many times do I have to tell you how?
Wait, really? You're here to rescue me? I was starting to think I'd be stuck down here forever.
목소리가
Come
바뀌었어.
downstairs. I want to see the face of my rescuer.
You walk down the stairs and lock
군주님.
eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall
이번엔
of
느낌이
the
좋은걸?
basement.
그렇지 않아요? 뭔가 순진무구한 얼굴이지 않아요? 아까랑 다르지 않아요?
She's beautiful. How could someone
또
like this be a
현혹됐다.
threat to
이
anyone?
자식 좀.
바보덕.
어허, 아니야. 누가 바보야?
I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
Hi. I
Hi.
can't believe you're here. I've been waiting for something like this to happen forever.
오케이.
I hope you brought something to deal with these chains.
Don't do it. If she gets out of those chains, we're all one step
이쁘긴
closer
해.
to the end.
한번 해볼게.
You're only making this more difficult.
곤규야.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're making a huge mistake. No, you're doing the right thing.
곤규야.
You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
네.
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs.
죄송해요.
Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day.
열쇠가 있을 수도 있어.
Okay. I'll be here. Good luck.
오케이. 금방
You
다시
attempt to make
올게.
your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs is shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place.
헉!
Is someone else here?
문을
You try the
열어본다.
door, but it's locked from the
이
outside.
자식 문
Your
열어.
shouts and pleas are met with "You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task."
이 나쁜 놈들아.
You make your way to the bottom of the stairs.
아.
This would have been so much easier if you'd just taken the blade like you were supposed to.
아니야.
Easier for whom? Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
곤듀야.
The door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
네.
There's a slight panic rising in the princess's voice.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
Together?
She barely hesitates before raising her arm to her mouth, her teeth tearing through her limb with the determination of a trapped wolf.
아니.
As she rips her flesh from her
아니!
bone, a sound comes from behind you. The clang of it's the blade from upstairs. You're not sure how it made its way down here, but if there's a time to strike, it's now. Or we could use it to free her. You won't like what happens if you do that.
공주를 구한다.
Fine. Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the ragged, self-inflicted wound on the princess's arm, just above the unyielding chain binding her to this place. You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and it takes little effort to crack through the bone of her arm. Her limb falls to the ground, and the heavy chains follow suit. She didn't so much as utter a sound through the whole
그니까.
ordeal.
이상해.
No, she didn't. She smiles softly as her gaze meets yours, blood from her wounded arm dripping rhythmically to the ground. How is she still smiling after everything? It's like she isn't even bothered by what just happened.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
Thank you. 다가간다.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I can't just let her escape into the world. As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade. Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that.
해설자가 나 조종해.
Watch me.
What are you doing?
어머머머, 공주를 죽인다, 공주를 죽인다, 공주를 죽인다 중에 경고한다 있어. 경고한다. 공주님 도망가요.
Stop that.
Something's come over you, hasn't it? You know you don't have to do this, right?
Your body lunges forward, the blade held low, ready to sink into her heart. But the princess dodges, stumbling back against the wall before the blade has a chance to connect. Stop it. Stop trying to resist me. I'm trying to get you out of here alive.
저항한다.
The blade. Move the blade. As your body remains frozen in stubborn resistance, the princess takes a cautious step forward.
We both know this isn't you.
예.
She nervously reaches towards you and takes the blade from your infuriatingly rigid hands. What are you doing?
I'm sorry. I'll try to be quick.
네?
She plunges it into your chest, tearing through flesh and sinew. It is agony. But you aren't dead yet.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
진짜 죄송한 거 맞아요?
Stay strong. We can tough it out until it's done. For her sake. Don't you start pretending that dying a painful death is some sort of heroic gesture. The two of you have literally doomed everyone. Whatever. She sinks the blade into your chest again and again and again, and you feel every inch of burning pain that slices its way into your body.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry 하면서 그렇게 쑤시지 마요.
She doesn't know how to use a knife, does she? Apparently not, though it doesn't matter how sloppy her knife work is, does it? A stab wound is still a stab wound, and it won't be long before you bleed out.
뭐야 이게?
I'm so sorry.
With one last thrust of the knife, Your legs give out beneath you. You collapse to the floor, your blood pooling around you, your limbs unresponsive. The princess stares down at your ruined chest as tears carve rivulets of pink down her blood-spattered cheeks.
빨리
Can't
끝나준다면서요.
just end like this, right? Oh, that's rich coming from you. As much as I prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. The two of you made your choice. It's over.
에?
Everything goes dark, and you die.
에? 오, 챕터 2 소공녀.
You're on a path. You're here to sleep.
오. 그럼 이제 소공녀인 상태로 들어있는 거
She
아니야?
will lie. If only you knew what you did to us,
홀린자의
you
목소리.
villain.
아, 이제 우리 홀린 건가? 자네가 우리에게 강요한 일은 알고 있겠지, 악당이여.
Excuse me?
우리 이제 자네의 말을 믿지 않는다네.
Forget he said anything. But he is a villain. He made our beloved brutally take our life last time.
우리 사랑스러운
He's trying to keep us
공주님을 지켜야
apart.
한다.
But last time, I think he just likes to hear the sound of his own voice. Let's try to ignore him. I do. But I also speak from the heart. My passions are too great to be stifled. They must be expressed.
곤주님.
Sure, yeah, your passions are strong and all, but not everyone needs to hear them.
사랑하오.
Don't pay their bickering any mind.
사랑하오. 곤주님 사랑해요.
The interior of the cabin
오,
is
바뀌었어,
clean
조금.
and elegant. Its stone walls
아,
draped in
깨끗하고
fine-threaded
우아해.
tapestries. A prison befitting a royal prisoner. The only furniture of note is an ornate wooden table with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement.
오. 그냥 지하실에 들어가기 전에 세이브할 수 있나? 할 수 있다. 그냥 들어가. 사랑해요.
The door to the basement creaks
오.
open, revealing an intricate stairwell.
지하실이 날 반기는 것
Gold-trimmed
같대요.
carpet glimmers in the light of the torches positioned along the walls.
음악도 뭔가 아름다워.
The basement almost seems welcoming.
곤주님이 나를
in
위해
firelight,
꾸며둔
but
건가
it's
봐.
still a stone basement. A soft voice carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
어머, 더 목소리가
voice.
고와졌어.
It's somehow even more beautiful than last time. I think we're in love.
Okay, I'm with you that
사랑해요.
we should be doing whatever we can to save her, but saying we're in love
영웅이가
is
또
a bit much, don't
진짜
you
더
think?
미친 자가 오니까
We don't even know the
정상적인
princess.
사고를
We
한다.
can still do right by her without all this. Yes, for everyone's sake, you're
사랑해요.
not in love. Just we walk down the stairs
옷도 더
and lock eyes
풍성해졌어.
with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the
곤주님.
far wall.
My love, we're here
My
to rescue you from your
love.
unjust and foul imprisonment.
내가 그대를 구해주겠어.
You know she can't hear you, right?
She may not be able to hear my words, but surely she can hear my spirit.
내 영혼은 닿을
Oh,
것이요.
your spirit's plenty loud, all right.
It's you, my dashing hero. I was so worried you wouldn't come back.
맞소, 나의 곤듀.
Did you hear that? She said we're dashing.
바로 나요.
And she called us a hero.
히어로라고 하니까 또 영웅이 더 솔깃해졌다.
Flattery really goes a long way with the two of you, doesn't
Yes,
it?
yes. 그리고 also me.
Waiting for you to come back. You've been here before.
그래, 이
haven't
바보야,
you?
넌 조용히 하고
That's
있어.
right, villain. And you killed us. Well, she killed us. Only because he made us try and kill her. It was self-defense. Our beloved's hands remain unstained
그렇소,
by
그렇소. 우리
cruelty.
곤듀는 순수하오.
And you've died before. So an entire world has been damned to oblivion.
필요 없어.
Damned a whole world. Nothing resets. You're just somewhere else. And you can't keep hopping between worlds forever. Especially not without leaving a trail of incomprehensible devastation behind you. This is horrible. Horrible for you,
어렵다.
maybe. But we've been given another opportunity to sweep her off her
그래,
feet.
모르겠고.
Now, hold on.
곤주님!
If she actually ended a world, are you sure we want to do this? We never saw a
사랑해요.
world end. And now I'm even more certain that we must chase our heroic and romantic destiny than I've ever been. I shan't let anyone convince us otherwise.
그치, 그치.
Are you listening to him? He's lost it. Don't let him distract you. Just do your...
아니야. 사랑해요.
사랑해요. 그냥 공주를 구한다.
Rescue her? What are you talking about? Did you forget that she's a world-ending monstrosity? And even if you wanted to unleash her onto the world, despite the complete moral disaster that would be, you'd have to get her out of those chains.
Don't you see how dainty her hands are? We'll be able to slip her out with ease.
No, she's a prisoner here. You can't just slip her hand through the chains. If her hand could just slip out of the chains, why hasn't she done it already?
Because we've yet to present her with her freedom.
어허.
I'm not sure I follow. Would you
그렇소.
rather believe me, a passionate heart guided by love and my own good nature? Or would you rather believe the devil on your shoulder who tells you what you can?
사랑해요.
I think I'd rather believe in facts. Ah, so you're one of those empiricists. One of us has to be. Then let me show you a brand new truth. Narrator, we courageously step forward
Narrator.
and free our beloved from her bindings.
No, I can't let you do that. If you take another step towards the princess, I'll...
You'll what? Take over our body and force us to try and kill her?
I would if you had a weapon.
Not on my watch, villain. My passions contain titanic depths, and if you try anything that might harm our dearest, I will end our life without a second thought.
Okay.
You wouldn't.
I would.
I would.
I'd listen to him if I were you.
He has a lot of strong feelings. And doesn't the world
이제
end if we don't
영웅이도
stop her?
약간 해설자랑 비슷하게 해.
You
뭐야?
approach the princess and
진짜
gingerly
빠지잖아.
slide her hand from her bindings.
건디언니
That shouldn't have worked. I'll
그해졌다.
be damned. I can't believe it. But I guess I have to.
I told you, there's no life more worth living than that of a true believer.
사랑해요.
I'm free, and you're not trying to kill me this time. Thank you. Thank you so much.
The princess jumps up and smothers you in a joyful embrace. Ugh. If only you had a weapon, one slip of the wrist and your pristine blade would be buried in her back and everyone out there would be saved.
그런 소리 하지 마라.
Luckily for Mr. Romance, we don't have a weapon.
Who needs a weapon when we have the power of love? on our
그렇소.
side?
우리에게 파워 오브 러브가 있어.
What do we do now?
이젠 뭘 하고 싶어?
Let me guess. End the world?
Spoken with the rank cynicism of someone who has never felt love in his heart.
I don't actually know. Nobody's ever asked me what I wanted before.
그랬어요.
She doesn't even know what she wants. You may have had her all wrong. What if this whole thing is just a misunderstanding? What if she doesn't want to end the world?
그래.
You're so gullible. Is the only thing you've ever doubted the actual truth?
I think I want to leave. And I think...
The princess closes her eyes in deep reflection, and then she shrugs.
I don't know. What do you want to do?
세계 멸망이라고 할까봐 계속 심장 조마조마하게 되는 거 알아? 한편으로는 공주를 사랑해요 하면서도 이러다가 또 돌변해서 내 심장에다 비수를 박으면 어떡하지? 하면서 쫄리는 맛이 있네 이거. 나가고 싶다면 나가자.
That sounds perfect.
The princess takes your hand, the last hopes of the entire world slipping through your fingers as they
내
intertwine
동댕이
with hers.
쳐집니다.
We have each other. We don't need the world for our happy ending.
사랑해요.
I like to think that you do, actually. Look, I have my doubts, but the choice has been made and this is happening.
그래 툴툴대지 마.
I will mope about it, because moping is the only recourse you love-blind fools have left me with. You and the princess walk up the stairs hand in hand. Ugh, look at her, she's smiling at you. She doesn't have to be so happy about this. And what happens after we walk up the stairs? Let's see. Oh, isn't that interesting? The door slams in your face and the lock clicks.
어라.
That's a familiar move. Did I do that last time? Then you should know that you won't be able to leave.
이거 해설자가 닫는 건가 봐.
Oh no! Did someone lock us in here? That's not fair. We're supposed to leave now.
She's right. It isn't fair. But the unfairnesses of the world are no match for the strength of true love.
Enough with this true love nonsense. You just met her.
Of course you wouldn't understand.
그래.
Our passions run deeper than anything you will ever know.
그렇소.
Are you listening to this? You don't have to go along with the every whim of that delusional voice.
I'm just along for the ride at this point.
함께 한다면 열 수 있을 거야.
Okay, yeah, let's do it.
Like a pair of teenagers in love, you and the princess place your hands on the door together. And the lock clicks, and the door creaks open. Are you kidding me?
이게 사랑의 힘이라고.
I told you our love was insurmountable.
그렇소.
You and the princess make your way upstairs, and the blade.
아, 검. 그러지
You're
않는다.
enjoying this, aren't you? You're taking every opportunity you can to draw out the end of the world and make me suffer. I hate you.
That's the way out. We're going to leave together, just like you wanted.
Yes, I suppose you are
사랑해요.
going to do that, aren't you? You cross the room, opening the door to the cabin. And then you step outside.
아, 당신의 사랑이 당신을 자유롭게 만들어줄 거예요. 도전과제 달성.
A happy ending at last.
행복한 결말.
We did it. What should we do now?
Where did everything go? Where did he go?
Oh, is he gone? I hadn't noticed. I was too busy staring deep into our beloved's eyes.
I'm cold. Is being happy supposed to be so cold?
안 돼.
She's cold. Quick, our feathers. Pluck them all and weave her a coat worthy of
깃털을
a
전부
princess.
뽑아서 외투를 만들어주래. 안 돼, 공주여. 안 돼, my princess. 안 돼. 하지만 당신은 외투를 만들어주지 못한다. 영원히. 이제 떠날 시간이다. 기억이 되돌아온다.
She's gone. Where did she go? And is that a mirror? Why is it here? Why now?
괜찮을 거야. 날 믿어. 우린 전에도 여기 왔었고 넌 그때도
It
두려워했어.
feels so bad. Like looking into it right now is going to be the end of everything. Yes. I fear that we won't like what we'll see. What if we just sit here and preen for a while? That can't hurt.
넌 끝이지만 난 아니지. 조만간 또 보자. 괜찮을 거야.
Okay. If you say so. We'll trust you. She'll be there waiting for us. I just know it.
다시는 거울에 다가간다. 이번에도 모두들 사라졌다. 거울이 매번 모두를 사라지게 만든다. 하지만 당신은 거울에 무엇이 있는지 확인해야 한다. The bloat? You've grown. 아, 당신은 성장했다. 오, 당신은 또다시 정막에 와있다. 오두막에 간다. 헉! 당신은 오두막에 있다. 그녀에게 다가간다.
When I found you in the long quiet alone, I was terrified. What if you had decided to let me wither? But your commitment now is final. Your ability to walk the path of mutual annihilation is vanished with your return. If you still wish to obliterate me, it will have to wait until I am complete. Flickering lights and empty cityscapes become pockets of vitality and movement. I am more than I was before.
오,
Whenever you are ready, I will wipe your slate clean once again.
넌 저번과 같은 존재야? 얼마나 변화했지?
Is a child the same as an infant? I am an unbroken pattern, but every vessel gives fresh perspectives and carves new avenues of expression. I am different.
기분이 어때?
Eyes close in reflection. Perspectives meld together, and the breadth of my experience stretches to new corners. There are contradictions, conflicts in my nature, and there are familiarities that bind everything together. It feels correct. This is what I need to be. This is the only path forward.
이 모든 게 끝나면 뭘 하고 싶어?
With every gift you bring me, I excavate the alleys of what I am meant to be, and every exploration yields new and complicated truths. What I will be is different than what I am, and what I am is different from what I was. I cannot tell you what desires I will hold when I have changed, but in this moment, All I want is to know myself and to know you.
네 모든 일이 끝나면 내가 널 죽일 거라는 건 알고 있어? 아, 그래?
There is still much to be seen. Neither of us know the depths of our being. Perhaps at the end of this, I will be the one to kill you. Or perhaps we will leave this place together and find new horizons to discover.
보이지 않는 벽이 날 가로막았어. 왜 이전과 똑같은 선택을 할 수 없는 거야?
Those paths lead to worlds you've already seen, and to perspectives I have already made my own. They are
결국
useless to
모든
us now.
엔딩을 좀 보기 편하게 만들어 놨다는 것 같아.
The only paths of value are those that are yet untread.
난 좋지. 넌 내가 만났던 자들 중 가장 날 친절하게 대해줬어. 고마워.
Why wouldn't I be kind to you? You are the only thing I know that isn't me.
다음엔 어떤 그릇을 원해?
Gifts aren't what someone tells you to bring them. Do not worry. There are no wrong answers. And every perspective illuminates my shadows and shares new secrets.
오케이. 이 그릇은 어떻게 생각해?
This one is soft and delicate. You molded her to love you, and she'll make for a gentle heart. Do not mourn her. She has served her purpose.
어떤 방향으로 성장하고 싶은지에 대해선 딱히 원하는 게 없는 거야?
My preference is for you to show me what you would like me to see. I cannot know the ways I wish to grow, for I have yet to feel them. It is you who guides me down the thin trail of perspective and memory.
난 널 해치고 싶지 않아. 하지만 여정을 계속할수록 자꾸만 널 해치게 돼.
The vessels are a weave of emotion at odds with themselves, but they are only perspectives. They are not me. The wounds they've suffered carve texture around my heart. Without them, I would be as I was before. I would be alone and without sensation. I could not feel the joy of having you by my side.
그릇을 얼마나 더 가져와야 되지?
If I am to be an ocean, you have given me enough to build a pond. My waters are shallow and murky, and I yearn for
아직
your
한참
perspective.
부족한가 봐.
The task of finding my vessels is your burden to carry.
집합체 공격한다. 아무 일도 일어나지
My
않는다.
roots burrow in an ocean beyond your sight. We cannot
아,
harm each
지금은
other
안
as we
되나
are
봐.
now.
스스로 파괴한다.
There's nowhere for you to be but here.
잉. 돌아갈 준비가 됐어.
I await your return, but it will give me time to reflect on what I am. We will meet again.
죽었다. 다시 공주와의 영웅.
You're on a path in the woods. And at the end of
퀸
that path
로드.
is a cabin.
아, 아까 이걸
And in
해볼
the
걸.
basement of that
퀸 로드. 에? 왜 퀸 로드 하는데 꺼져? 어디서부터 다시 시작해야 되는 걸까? 아까 그 유령 그게 궁금한데. 그지? 챕터 2 유령이었을 때가 궁금한데. 방금 루트 저장 안 했는데 괜찮냐고요? 에? 뭐 도전과제 봤으니 어떻게 됐겠지. 아! 이거 안 되나봐 이거. 아까 한 번만 되나봐. 이미 한 번 한 거라서. 거울을 또 여기서 봐.
I'm sure.
내 잘생긴 얼굴을 보고 싶어.
I'm not
거울에 다가간다.
it's real.
거울을 닦는다.
You and now it's gone.
또 없어졌다.
Pity. We could have a feather out of place.
단검을
I
가져간다.
suppose if we
Hopefully it doesn't. There's no use arguing.
지하실에 들어간다.
The door to the basement creak, but it's a soft.
Hello?
Her voice. Okay, we don't even. Yes, for everyone's sake, you're not in love. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a head.
My love.
퀸로드를 하면서 현재 루트 저장 안 했는데 괜찮냐고 물어본 거라고. 모덕님이 예라고 하시고 아마 저장이 안 됐다고? 이게 다시
You know she
시작이라고?
can't hear you, right?
아, 세이브 로드 하는 것보다 다회차 하면서 선택지 모아보는 게 낫대요. 아,
She
그래?
may not.
Oh, your spirits.
It's you, my dashing hero. I was so worried.
Did you hear?
She could flat. Wait.
That's right. Well,
그럼 우리가
We no.
we
상냥한
never saw it.
곤규님은 지금 안 본 거예요, 그러면? 여기 있잖아. A loving vessel.
있으면 된 거 아니야? 있으면 된 거 같은데? 죽인다.
Blade in hand, you run the princess down. Wait, no! You barbarian, what do you think you're doing? But you ignore the pleas of the foolish little voice and press on. The princess's eyes grow wide with terror as you approach. Your blade pierces her heart, and she collapses pathetically to the ground.
I'm sorry. Did I do something wrong?
No, my love, you did nothing wrong. I'm sorry, not you.
I'm going to die now. I think that's what you want.
Oh my god!
And just like that, she's dead. And
Lady
the world
Killer.
is saved. Thank you for seeing this
순수함을
through.
죽이다.
I know it must have been difficult.
I feel sick.
Sick? You took part in the murder of the fairest creature that's ever lived. And you merely feel sick.
미안해.
I, for one, am absolutely...
Get over
잘못했어요.
it. You just saved everyone.
Get over it. You smile.
나도 자결하나 봐.
You raise the blade, aiming the point directly. Yeah, let's not make any rash decisions. We should give
와.
ourselves a minute. Take it.
Rash. The only rash decision we've made was running our cursed blade through her heart. This is far from rash. This is measured. This is the only thing left for us to do now that she...
결정권을 가진 건 나야. 그리고 나는 거절한다. 네가 원하는 거라면 한번 해봐.
What? No, let's not do that.
You won't use your fancy reverse psychotherapeutics on me, murderer. We're dying together. All of you may have previously thought that my passions were too great to stifle, but those were merely passions of joy. My passions of sorrow run deeper than the ocean itself, and you'll find that they are far more unstifleable.
I don't believe this.
What? What don't you believe?
You plunge the blade into your own heart and collapse to the floor. You can't be serious. Why are you helping him? I'm not. He just made it happen. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
That's right. You're all sorry.
Everything goes dark, and you die.
아. 오! 챕터 3 회색빛.
You're on a path.
오!
You horrid monster. Do you think just because we've returned to the woods you've earned my forgiveness? Our beloved had best be alive and well when we return to the cabin, or
She won't be alive and well when we return to that
어,
cabin.
냉혈이
Because
찾아왔다.
she's dead. We killed her.
you killed her. And so I killed you.
And you clearly didn't do a good enough job. I'm still here.
Oh, and I'm still here too. If you lot get to be blessed with seemingly eternal life, that must mean she's still there, waiting for us to throw ourselves at her feet in remorse.
I doubt it. I think I'm better at
어,
killing.
사이코패스 같아요.
So you've been here before. Of course you've been here before. What count is it this time? 2? It's our 3rd. What gave it away?
Your open discussions. I couldn't care less what he knows. Every second we stand around arguing in the woods is a second that I'm anxiously worrying about her. Take us to the cabin and take us there now.
And if it is
곤주님!
permanent, then
Oh, you just wait and see. My vengeance will echo the depths of
홀린자가
provoke
흑화했어.
him. I prefer if we didn't die again. Why not? You've already done it twice. It was unpleasant. It was only unpleasant because you think it's supposed to be unpleasant.
I'll make you feel what I feel if it's the last thing I do. And mark my words, you won't like it when it...
Oh. How exciting.
How
I'd
exciting.
love to see you try.
Can I? Well, I'm not just going to try.
해설자가
I'm going to actually
말할
do it.
틈이 없어요. Can I?
I'm looking forward to
그게
Good. I am
저도
too.
Can I talk now? Yes, I can. Great. Now that you're listening, let me remind you that if you're here in the woods, it means that the princess is not dead and that her very existence currently poses a direct threat to the entire world.
곤주여! 어? 그러게. 이곳이 바뀌었다는 얘기는 하지 않았죠. 지난번에 바뀌지
If this
않았는데?
isn't the same path in the woods you're used to, that means that her influence is already spreading and you're running out of time.
Wait. But if her influence is spreading, that means there's hope. That means our beloved is waiting up there for us. ready to make amends.
Yes, I already told you that she's alive. Don't mind him. I don't think he's doing too well.
I'm doing better than any of you. I'm doing great. She's alive.
Influence doesn't require life. But if things restarted, why wouldn't she be alive? Who said they restarted? All they've done is changed.
I shan't listen to the vile mutterings of you serpents. Onward! Our living, breathing princess awaits us.
우리가 오두막에 가지 않는다면 어떻게
She'll
되지?
find a way out eventually and the world will still end.
Again he makes her out to be a monster. I'm tired of all this slander. She's never hurt anyone in her life except for us, and that was our fault.
We don't know that. She could have done all sorts of things we weren't around to see. Turn around and leave, go to the cabin. I'm fine with either. So long as we don't just...
주인공은 나지. 선택을 하는 나긴 나야. 난데 이 수많은 영혼들이 이제 나를 지금 이렇게 하자 저렇게 하자 설득을 하는 건 거지. 결정권은 나한테 있다. 우리가 공주를 또 죽이면 또 자살하려 들지 마라.
Oh, it's clear, you murderer. Though I should remind you that you're not as in charge as you seem to think.
I'm sure his outburst last time was just a fluke. I wouldn't worry about him. Besides, if he kills us again, he kills us again. It doesn't matter. He'll tire out eventually.
Spoken like a true cynic.
Enough bickering. Just stay
그만
focused
떠들래요.
and get...
오케이.
I'm sure you've already heard my words of warning in one of your past lives.
Oh, we'll muck it up all right. We'll get our happy ending.
근데 좀 뭔가 수산한데?
Whatever you do, don't let him influence
하늘도
a
뭔가
single
이상한데?
decision. He's
금이가
clearly
있는 것
lost
같지 왜?
it. I hate that I'm agreeing with him on anything, but I really don't like being at the whims of someone so... Yes, having all those feelings isn't very productive, is it? You're saying that like stress is just something you can turn off. It is. It's easy. Whatever happens,
진짜 사이코패스 같아.
happens. This is horribly unproductive.
오케이.
The interior of the cabin feels dry and brittle. Ancient dust-covered wooden beams hold
가슴팍에
up
뼈
the
박힌
crumbling
유령이.
ceiling like mummified ribs. Each elegantly carved detail of the stately building preserved in an extended stasis. Everything here has been kept safe and dry. But you're not alone. You can feel something watching you. There is a figure faintly outlined against the dusty wood of the far wall. Is that her?
Our beloved. So she does live.
권규님.
She doesn't look very alive to me. Before you can make a move, the figure is gone.
사라졌어.
Vanishing behind the door on the far side of the room. The door at the end of the room, but there isn't a door. It's just that damn mirror again.
Ah, yes, the mirror. So we can see the monster we've become. If it even lets us look before it vanishes too.
The mirror? Is this some kind of joke?
해설자는 또
Did you all
거울을 못
plan
봐.
this out before dying? There is no mirror. There's the door to the basement, the table, and the pristine blade.
우리는 단검도 안
That's
보여.
strange. There's supposed to be a pristine
해설자도
blade.
단검이 안 보여.
Maybe it's gone because we've
그래
already
이미 가슴팍에
killed
박혀 있으니까.
Perhaps it's gone because an oh so deserved guilt. I suppose it doesn't matter why the blade is gone, but you're going to have to find it if you're going to do this right.
거울에 문은
As
없는데?
if something as flimsy as a missing door would
여기
stop
뒤에
us
문
on our
있는 거 아니야?
secret quest.
You're clearly hallucinating.
거울에 다가간다.
You make your way to the door at the end of the room, stopping just in front of it. You must think you're looking at that mirror you mentioned earlier, the one that doesn't exist. Just reach forward and open the door. It's still so hazy. We should try and clean it off. Yes. Trying to touch it does seem to be the magic
이번엔 안
spell.
사라지나?
It's time for all of you to see what we've become.
You reach forward and place
없어졌어.
your hand on the door to the basement. The handle
없어지네.
is just a little to your right, and a little. So much for our reflection.
I see. We are too hideous for even a mirror to build.
No way left to go but down.
들어간다.
The door to the basement creaks open,
유령공주.
revealing an antique staircase lit by weak torchlight. The air here is so stale it practically stands still, as if the very molecules of this place have been fossilized. Even the blaze of the torches can't penetrate the odorless air, as if they'd run out of fuel to burn ages ago, their light still flickering more out of habit than from adhering to a physical reality. A wispy figure watches you from the bottom of the stairs, face veiled in shadow. There she is again. My love.
My love.
She's just an old memory.
내 사랑.
Your eyes lock for a brief moment, then she vanishes around the corner.
계단을 내려간다. 지난번 일은
You
미안해.
receive no. Do you think she's upset with us? Of course she's livid, and with good reason. You aren't helping. Are you scared of a little ghost?
내려간다.
As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view. A skeletal body lying in a heap on the floor. This cell is a dark and isolated place. See? She's dead. No. What foul trickery is this? How can this be? We just saw her alive and well a moment ago. Whatever we saw was a ghost. Thought we were all on the same page. Do try to keep up. Your thoughts are interrupted by the sound of a slamming door and a clicking lock. You turn to see the shade of the princess staring down at you from the top of the
죄송해요.
stairs. So that's where the blade is. It's already in her heart. And yet she isn't dead. She is dead. Have you never heard of a ghost? Oh, for the love of... Can we not waste time arguing over the semantics of what is and isn't dead? She is clearly conscious. She clearly just slammed the door on you, and she clearly has a weapon. Your pristine blade sticking out of her chest. Yeah, dead or not, what are we supposed to do about her? Slaying, or destroying, if we want to be a little more death neutral, seems weird, but she hasn't said anything. Are you sure she can talk like this?
You came back. I missed you.
어머.
That angelic voice, I missed you too, my beloved. You sure
내
snapped back to
사랑.
your... Yes. Seeing her dazzling countenance again has reignited the warmth in my heart. I have found it in me to forgive the sins this body has committed. We can have our perfect romance after all.
This is a bad place. We're supposed to be together, but it keeps making us hurt each other.
다른 목소리가 같이 들려요.
The torch falls from the princess's hand. And
이
bounces
지하실이 나쁜
downstairs.
거라고요? 아!
It'll be so much better when it's gone.
아!
The skeletal wood of the basement, perfectly dry after uncountable years of desiccation. She's trying to kill us. A misplaced escalation of her passions, but clearly she still cares for us.
돌았네.
I
돌았어.
say we burn with her.
아! 세이브. 널 죽여서 화난 거야? 미안해.
I'm not mad at you. You gave me so much to think about. And it's all going to be over soon.
She's holding a grudge. She wouldn't. She's perfect. The fire grows quickly, devouring the basement, dancing up the walls and painting every surface with strokes of flame. You're choked by smoke, and the air around you grows uncomfortably warm. We've never burned to death before. I wonder how it's going to feel.
어떤 느낌일까?
Bad! I bet it'll feel really, really bad. Yes, it will be terrible, so you'd better come up with something to do and fast. Your personal safety is far from the only thing she's threatening right now. I think a bit of fiery passion is good for the world. You're just trying to spoil her fun. I'm not spoiling anything. I'm trying to prevent oblivion.
문을 향해 달려간다.
As you rush up the stairs, the entire cabin erupts into a raging inferno. You ignore the princess, throwing yourself headlong against the door, bashing at it with your clenched fists in a vain attempt at freedom.
안돼!
You're stuck here. Your skin starts to bleed.
지글지글 맛있는 소리.
As layers of you peel away into raw, seeping burns,
권주님?
you feel a hand on yours. You turn to see the princess face bright and smile wide with manic affection. She clutches you close to her chest, watching with loving eyes as the flames eat you away, bit by bit. The pain is unbearable at first. Every inch of you screams as your flesh is stripped away, your muscles stiffening as they're cooked, your blood boiling in your veins. But it isn't long before the flames take your nerves, and with them, your ability to feel much of anything. See? That wasn't so bad. It was so bad.
Somehow, nothing is so much worse.
You'll get used to it. There are still the feelings of the heart. Those never go away.
Oh, they always do in the end. You just haven't experienced enough. Eventually you'll want them
오늘
to stop
킬링
too.
맞아요.
You'll make them stop. The princess's smile never fades. Her skin
으아.
peels away, and then her muscle, until all you
근데
can
칼
see
잡고
is
있어,
her
내 손.
charring skull.
단검으로 달려간다 해도 이렇게 되는 건가?
It's very
Burning down the
romantic,
house. 지하실
We
불태우기.
got our happy ending after all. We can die happy.
으아! 으아! 그러나 당신은 죽지 않는다. 그녀 또한 사라졌다. 기억이 되돌아온다.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again.
거울에 다가간다. 성장했다. 또 성장했다. 좋아. 오두막에 간다. 우와! 다가간다. 우와!
When I found you in the long quiet alone, but your commitment now is final. Flickering
아까 했던
lights,
말인데.
empty whenever you are
기분이 어때?
eyes closed and perspective, it feels correct.
아까랑 똑같은데. 돌아갈 준비가
I
됐어.
await your return. We will meet again.
You're on
Burning
a path
vessel.
in the woods.
그릇
And at the end
불태우기.
of that
달성.
path, you're here.
설명해줘서 고마워.
Don't mention it. It's all part of the job.
그
You
유령
make your way
어떻게
up the
갔었지?
short path
어떻게
to the
하니까
cabin.
유령이 된 거지? 들어간다.
The interior of the blade is
단검을 가져간다.
You take
이번엔 가져가 볼게요.
the door to the basement. Her voice.
Who's there?
She sounds. Don't let it fool you.
칼 가져가면 목소리가 그냥 달라지네. 이번에 사이코패스 엔딩 해볼까? 널 죽이러 왔는데?
Oh, are you now?
그래.
Why don't you come down and let me take a look at you?
Great job. You gave away the element of surprise. Good luck, hero. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. She's so coldly beautiful.
또
Focus on the
반했다, 또.
task at hand.
You weren't kidding when you said you were here to kill me.
그래. 그래, 농담이 아니었어.
I know. You brought a knife with you and everything. But you don't have to try and kill me. You could always toss that scrap of metal to the ground and give the...
She makes a compelling point. Don't you dare.
그러면
It's fine.
지금
We can decide what we want to do.
지금 떨어뜨린다, 쥔다. 지금 한번 놔본다.
The blade tumbles out of your
Thank you. Maybe now we can just...
그래, 대화해보자.
talk.
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face.
공허한 눈의 공주여.
We'll be fine. I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
오케이. 어떻게 해야 널 여기서 나가게 해줄 수 있지?
You can't. Don't bother.
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. I'm sure there's a key somewhere around here, and if there isn't, well, we can always put that knife to good use.
Her sharp eyes settle on the edge of the blade. She isn't suggesting what I think she's suggesting. She is. I'm sure of it.
여기 얼마나 오래 있었니?
Too long.
Note the lack of detail. You can't trust her.
이름은 뭐야?
She hesitates before answering.
You can address me as Your Royal Highness, or Her Majesty. Any honorific should do, really.
Again, she offers no specifics.
이름 모르는 거
No
아니야?
matter how hard you try, you'll never get a straight answer out of her.
내가 왜 널 죽이러 온 건지 알아?
Do you?
들은 게 있어서 알지. 그걸 믿을진 다름이지. 아니? 해보가 거짓말이래.
You're lying.
오.
How does she know that?
어떻게 알았지?
Don't think that just because I'm the one in chains, it means you have a right to interrogate me.
그래? 지금 날 유혹하는 거야?
Don't jump to any weird conclusions. We're two people who have met each other. By definition, we have a relationship.
오케이.
Oh, have you decided what to do with me?
You know why you're here.
여기서 도와줘 볼까? 나갈 수 있게 도와줄게.
Oh, you have to be kidding me. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
If you don't have the key, maybe you should go looking for it. I'm sure it's
뭔가
somewhere
아까랑
upstairs.
같은 대사인데 목소리가 달라서 느낌이 달라.
Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light.
네 팔 자르는 거 말고는 다른 생각 있니?
That would be fine. I can lose an arm.
헉.
She speaks with almost
상관없대.
complete nonchalance. If we were stuck down here for long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way out. Anything to finally. You attempt to make
너무
your
오래
way out
갇혀
of the
있어서
basement, but someone
또
else
잠기고 내려가고.
make your way back. Easier for everyone.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they? The knife. Pick it up and cut me out of here.
어머.
You won't like what happens if you do that.
공주를 구한다.
Against your better
우와!
judgment, you place the blade against the princess's arm, just above the massive, unyielding chain. You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and you make quick work of it. She didn't so much as utter a sound. Free from her
아까랑
bindings, the
똑같은데
princess turns to
눈빛이 좀
face you.
달라.
How is she so composed after losing an arm?
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
나간다.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. As the princess approaches the bottom stair. Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me.
경고한다.
Stop that.
I thought this was a little too easy.
Your body lunges forward to sink the blade into her back, but the princess swiftly moves out of the... Stop it! Stop resisting me! I am trying to get you out of here alive.
저항한다.
The blade. Move the
이 언니라면
blade.
해설자를 없애줄 수 있는 거 아니야?
You're doing your best to help me, aren't you?
오.
I can see the conflict in your eyes.
네, 언니. 맞아요.
I'll make this quick.
She steps forward and pries the blade from your rigid hands.
Maybe I'll see you in another life.
And then she slits your
오,
throat with an
깔끔하게
almost
끝내줘.
clinical ease. Her face remains unchanged as she watches you collapse to the ground, blood flowing from your butchered neck. This is the end, isn't? I'm afraid it is. Everything goes dark, and you
죽었어.
die.
죄수! 챕터 2 죄수.
You're on a path. You're here to.
이번에는 어떻게 돼 있을까?
A warning. She will lie. Yeah. Did you just say wink out
wink?
loud? No, I didn't.
의심의 목소리.
Wink.
윙크.
Just ignore this clown.
의심의 목소리가 추가됐어요. 윙크, 윙크.
The interior of the cabin is less a cozy woodland retreat and more like a dungeon.
오, 아직
The
지하
only
감옥.
furniture, the blade.
검은 가져가.
You take the good idea.
지하실에 들어가.
The door to the basement creaks open. Her voice.
Is that a visitor I hear?
I wonder what visitors she could be referring to. Were we not the first? You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. She looks up at you, the heavy collar around her neck clanking loud. Should we be worried about the one around her neck? Why would you be worried about her restraints? Have you noticed the empty chain on the wall? odd that in a place where everything seems to serve a
그러게 왜
distinct
이것만 이렇게
purpose,
열려 있지?
there would be something so obviously useless.
수상해 수상해.
What an interesting development. Why don't you have a seat? The two of us should chat before you bury that thing in my heart.
내가 딱히 뭘 할 필요가 없겠는데? 아주 단단히 묶여 있잖아. 그냥 여기 버려두고 떠나야겠다. 이런 것도 있네? 또 세이브해. 세이브를 짱 많이 할 수 있게 만들어 놓은 이유가 있었어. 도망간다.
If by divine will, just as you finish the thought, you hear a door slam.
안녕히 계세요.
I'm afraid you won't be leaving until the task is finished. That's not fair. Unless you deal with her right here, right now, she will remain an existential threat to the...
So it's not even safe to think. I see how it
아 도망
is.
못 가?
How surprising. They locked you down here too.
공주 앞에 앉는다.
You
Hey.
step towards the princess, but she stops you before you get too close, holding up one shackled hand.
There's fine. I'd prefer we keep some distance until we've sorted this out.
네.
That's reasonable. We do have a weapon. Might as well put her at ease.
앉으라는 곳에 앉는다.
You do as she asks and sit on the floor, still a good distance away from her.
Thank you. Now, what are your intentions for me?
난 여기 온 적이 있어. 나만 기억하는 건가?
Oh, are we acknowledging that?
오!
I thought we weren't going to give away the game. But yeah, I remember.
그래, 기억하네.
So you've already been here. As much as I would like to remain in denial, it's no use. It's a complicated thing. Ideally, this was supposed to be one and done. You go to the cabin, you heroically slay the princess, and in the process you save the entire world from being damned to oblivion. The situation right now, where you're getting a second shot at things,
A contingency for what?
for you failing, obviously. And you being here means that things are going to be a lot harder than they were. I really shouldn't say anything else.
If you knew this could happen, why didn't you tell us? All of this is incredibly
깡패 같아,
valuable
의심이.
information. It would have changed our actions
그래, 이
considerably.
자식아.
I needed you to be in the dark for as long as I could keep you there. It's important, and maybe I wanted to be the first version of me that you met. I didn't want to be confronted by the alternative.
That's pathetic.
I never said I wasn't.
해설자는 의심이한텐 쫀다.
It would be pretty upsetting, wouldn't it? To know that you might not be the first version of yourself. At least we can remember what happened before. Exactly, he gets it. You're lucky. So don't waste that luck by messing it up again.
Moving on. Why is it important for us to be ignorant? How is it ever helpful to be in the
그러게.
dark?
The more
왜
I
도움이
say, the
되는
more
거지?
your mind will swim into dangerous waters. Even saying that is too much. Your success hinges on you having imperfect information. For the sake of the entire world, you need to accept that.
I won't.
Fine. But you'll get another word from me on the matter.
Yeah, sure.
Just give it a rest. This isn't helping.
Focus. This is a serious situation.
이 이야기하는
You
동안 멍
shouldn't
때리고
be daydreaming.
공주는 여기 앞에서 이렇게 앉혀놓고 나 혼자 하면서 혼자 내 안의 영혼들끼리 만담회를 하고 있었어요. Sorry. 내 의도에 대해 물었지 무슨 뜻이야?
Yes, your intentions. You have a knife. What are you going to do with it? Why are you here? There isn't a keyhole in these shackles, and I don't see any keys in your hands either. So I'm afraid my only way out is another surgical
이번에는
removal.
목도 자를 수 없게 만들어 놓은 거구나.
Is she forgetting about the shackle on her neck?
Or does she think she'd survive a beheading?
You're right. Maybe she's delusional. All the more reason not to trust her.
Unless she really could survive.
Though I suppose you could just be here to kill me. But I don't think that's in either of our best interests.
내가 죽은 일은 무슨 일 있었지?
Nothing happened. You died. I went upstairs. I couldn't leave. I found myself in a new place in chains again. And now you're back.
Is that really all she knows?
It's not like we have much of a clue about how things work. And she's probably even more in the dark than we are.
You're looking at me like I might be hiding something. I'm not.
I guess it's possible she really doesn't know anything. Maybe both of us are stuck in this loop without any idea why.
그러게.
목에도 족쇄가 걸려있는데 내가 어떻게 해야 잘라 풀어줄 수 있다는 거지?
No. Like I trust you to come any closer with that knife. All you're going to do is hand it to me and watch me work.
허.
But she would have to cut her head off, right? She can't be suggesting that.
She certainly seems confident. Maybe she knows something we don't.
Or maybe you should consider the most likely scenario. She's bluffing so she can disarm you.
Though if she isn't bluffing, whatever she has planned might be for her benefit alone. There's no...
So, what should we do?
I don't know. I'm just spelling out our options, listing the pros and cons.
Then let me help you. I'll start with the cons. That doesn't sound great. There are none.
The pros are that we can't trust him, possibly even more than we can't trust her. Whatever she has planned could do
의심 있는
something to mess
해설자를
with.
안 믿어. 벽에 걸려있는 빈 족쇄는?
I don't know, but you could always try it on. Maybe it'll fit.
허허.
I hope I don't actually have to say this, but
족쇄를
I
살펴본다.
wouldn't do that. If
And why is...
do I even need to explain myself? It's a shackle and it's one without a key.
And what? Is it going to lock the second we put our wrist into it?
I don't know. Maybe it will.
He
넣어봐.
doesn't want us to look at it. That's
넣어봐.
all the reason we need.
But what if he's telling the truth?
He isn't.
I am.
살펴봐.
Against your better judgment,
한숨.
you approach the chain dangling from the far wall. The princess watches you with faux disinterest as you inspect it, though she can't fully hide her curiosity. I don't want to say what I'm supposed to say next. What is that supposed to mean? It sounds bad.
어라.
Is it bad? Yes, it's bad.
어라.
Come out and say it then. You're just wasting time.
Fine. As you hoist the shackle, its heft shifts within your grasp, as if pulled by some odd magnetism. Before you can so much as blink, it practically leaps from your hands, snapping
자동이었어.
around your neck. And, as if your situation weren't bad enough, the same magnetism repels your blade, which is thrown from your
자석이었어.
hand and sent skittering across the floor of the
자기장이
basement.
있나봐.
Excuse me? Yes? Are we stuck here now?
묶였다. 아!
Yes.
아! 스스로 죄수되기. 아!
Huh, so it does fit. And I guess it doesn't like your knife. We're stuck here together, aren't we?
아!
That's fun.
What are we supposed to do now?
Can't even cut ourselves out. Guess we'll
나만
starve.
하나는 날 위한 것이었나.
That's horrible.
아!
It's not all bad. We learned a valuable piece of information.
가치 있는 교훈을
Not to
얻었대.
touch things we're specifically told not to touch.
만지지 말라고 하는 건 안 만지기.
No, that there's something special
아,
about this
사슬에
loose
뭔가
chain that's
있다는
clearly
거.
important.
그치. 이렇게 될 줄 알고 있었어?
No.
아니. 둘 다 갇혔네?
Yep.
대하기 싫어?
Nope.
That's rude.
이제 어떡할래? 무시한다.
You and the princess wait in silence, though neither of you knows what you're waiting for.
아!
But you're waiting for something.
내 감옥 메이트가 저랑 낯가리는데 어떻게 해야 되죠?
This is so boring.
There must be something we can do to get out of here. There must be something we're missing.
But there isn't. Time passes. It passes and passes and passes. And the basement of the cabin remains much the same. It is cold. At least the world is safe. It isn't. You're stuck. Too far away from both the princess and your blade to do much of anything.
아!
But she's not ending anything. She's just sitting there.
그러게 가만히 앉아만 있는데.
Her very existence is a threat. It harms everything around it.
How exactly does that work?
It just does.
But
Your line of questioning is interrupted by the passage of even more time. And after that, even more time passes again.
해설자가 처음으로
Let me
말을
guess.
끊었어.
The cabin remains the same.
if time is passing, the cabin can't be the same. Even if the differences are small, they have to exist. That's just how things work.
I suppose you're correct. Things are changing.
오!
The differences are small at first.
변해,
A bit of
변해.
weathering here, a bit of erosion there. But then they get larger.
지하실이 변하고 있는데 눈치챘어?
I don't like small talk.
아.
Remember?
네.
Still rude.
무너진다,
You continue to wait
무너진다.
in silence, and the cabin continues to change. The decay comes faster now. You can see earth through holes in the stonework, can watch lichen spread along the seams of the walls.
That doesn't make sense. Has our entire concept of time changed? What happened to starving? We should have died by now if the rocks around us are starting to erode.
She hasn't starved.
I guess she hasn't.
완전 다
Even
무너졌어.
more silent time passes as you
이상한
watch
지렁이 같은
roots
게
push
들어와요.
themselves through the increasingly porous walls of the basement. Dirt seeps inside, flowing across the stone floor like a liquid, covering the ground and threatening to swallow you both. Time continues to pass, until suddenly there are no walls. And then...
해설자도 사라졌어.
I think he's gone.
오!
Would you look at that? We made it out of the cabin, and nothing bad had to happen to either
아씨,
of us.
안 돼. 저 선이 다시 보인다. 안 돼.
So this is the outside world. It's cold.
하하이 참. 하지만 당신은 대답할 수 없다, 영원히.
She's gone. And is that...
거울에 다가간다. 당신은 수척해졌다. 오, 나 띠게. 당신은 시들었어요. 수척해졌어요. 오두막에 간다. 헤이 헤이 헤이.
I am a growing chorus of contradiction. A mass of tides ebbing and
그런가
flowing
봐.
all at
대사
once in more
바뀌네.
directions than my attention can bear to hold. To look at any one is to shift them all
아니면은
into
성장
something new.
말고 이제 다른
And to look away is to
수척해졌다라서
reshape
대사가
them
바뀌는
yet
건가?
again.
모르겠다.
All of me is changing, and yet the rest of me is still the same.
너는 모순이 아니야. 모순은 존재하지 않아.
And yet my waters flow and my streets bustle. There are no words that can describe me into non-existence. I am everything that you have known me to be, but I am also none of it.
어떻게 모순으로 존재할 수 있다는 거야?
As easily as you can stand to be you. You are like me.
그럴 것
You
같아.
have chosen
선택지마다
to
다른 것
look
같아.
at the corners of you that do not fit.
불탄 공주도 사랑스러운 공주인 거니까 그런가 봐. 아무리 다시 돌아가도 우리 둘은 매번 서로를 다치게 해. 그 사실이 널 변화시키진 않아? 더 나쁘게 만들진 않니?
It changes me, but it doesn't make me worse, nor does it make me care for you any less. Does it make you worse? Do you resent me?
사실 오히려 널 더 좋아하게 만들어. 그게 무슨 뜻인지는 모르겠어. 그래, 넌 날 괴롭게 해. 모든 게 끝나길 원할 뿐이야. 딱히 관심 없어. 네 옆에 있어 모든 게 작아 보여. 널 증오하냐고? 아니? 그렇진 않은데? 근데 네 옆에 있으면 모든 게 작아 보인다는 말은 모르겠는데? 오히려 널 좋아하게 만들어. 그래, 차라리 곤듀에게 연민이 든달까?
It says that your heart is gentle. That even in the darkness you are guided by compassion.
들켰다. 나 따뜻한 심장의 오리. 어떻게 알았지?
This one is cold and cynical. She has protected herself when others could not. She will make for a clever heart.
심장, 영리한
Do
심장.
not mourn her. She doesn't need to be protected any longer. If that remains your choice when all is said and done, then you may try. But know that I do not wish you harm.
이제 얘가 나를
even if
해치고
you
싶지
attempt to
않대.
destroy me.
바뀌었다. 우리가 한 세계를 두고 떠날 때 그 세계는 어떻게 되는 거야?
My perspectives are shadowed. You have seen what I have seen, just as I have seen what you have seen. The angles of my vantage do not offer me hidden truths, and my attention is turned inward, except when you are here with me. Perhaps this will change when our work is done.
다음엔 어떤 그릇을 원하지?
Gifts aren't what someone tells you. Do not worry.
이건 아까랑 똑같군요.
The time.
오케이, 돌아갈 준비가 됐어.
I will be here
깜짝이야.
when it is time for us to meet again.
Guarded
You're on
vessel.
a path in the woods, and at the end of that path, you're here.
지켜지는 그릇? 이번에는 도망가는 걸 해볼까? 그래, 길을 알아.
Somehow I doubt that, but fine. I suppose you could. Ignore that annoying little voice. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
아까 떠나다가 갔던 것 같아.
Your silence is deafening. But fine. You turn around and trek back down. Oh, would you look at that? There's always a choice. Let me tell you right now that you're making the wrong one for pretty much everyone who's ever lived, as well as for everyone who ever will. And here we go. As you trudge into the woods, something
다른 길로 갈
strange
수
starts to
있어.
happen. At first, it's little flickers out of the corner of your eyes. But as you focus on your surroundings, you start to realize that those flickers weren't just a trick of light. In every direction, there is a path and a cabin. And not just a cabin, the cabin. And wait, what's going on?
잠시만요.
You're too stubborn for that, aren't you? It doesn't matter how many paths or cabins appear around you. You're just going to do whatever you can to
해설자가
shirk your
돌아버리는 건가 봐요.
responsibility. You've doomed us all. You know that, right? But of course you do. Otherwise you wouldn't just wander off into the forest in search of certain death.
노래도
You lose track
이상해졌어.
of just how long you spend aimlessly tromping through the wilderness. But it's not like any of that time spent lost in the woods really matters, because it isn't long before the world ends and everyone dies.
Goddamn. 오! 챕터 2 낯선 존재.
You're on a path in the You're here to slay.
그냥 숲속에 머무른다, 영원히. 오두막으로부터 달아날 수 없다면 그냥 있을래.
You have already committed to my completion.
이건 이미
You cannot
했대.
go further astray.
이리로 오지 말래. 알았어, 오두막에 갈게.
A warning
오!
before you go any further.
막혀있어.
She will lie.
아예
We're
못
stuck
가게
going
해.
in there.
오!
Maybe we should
반항심의
believe her.
목소리.
Maybe she isn't a liar. Ignore him. Let's keep an...
반항심의 목소리가 생겼어요.
The cabin interior
아이고야, 이게
is
뭐야?
wrong. A confusing patchwork of many cabin interiors, all projected across. The only furniture of note is a
이번엔 말 안
blade.
들을 건가
If he
봐요.
wants us to take it, maybe we should just leave it to collect dust.
그래.
Or better yet, grab it and throw it out the window.
그래.
Good as a knife against a world-ending monstrosity anyway.
맞아, 그게 이상하긴
No,
했어.
we take in the knife. Have you seen? I've already told you what you're dealing with. You can't just say that. And when everything here is so wrong. Listen to me. My job is to describe facts as facts and to guide you through your job, which is to slay the princess and through that action, save the entire world. And if you're going to slay her, you cannot let fear creep into your heart. You cannot lose yourself before you even get to her. Oh, ho, ho, ho. You've piqued my interest. What's going to happen if we lose ourselves? Nothing, because you're going to pull yourself together.
내가 정신을
Just
놓는
ignore
건가?
the stressful geometry and stay calm. How? Even if we closed our eyes, you're constantly describing it to us. I'm not going
그래.
to stop doing my job. Yes, take a deep breath. I'm all for getting under his skin, but we'll miss out on loads of fun if we shrivel up into a ball and go insane the first time we see something weird. What you're seeing here is obviously real. Just accept it and go with the flow. It really isn't hard. Okay, I'm fine. Good. Now, whenever you're ready, we're all waiting for you to complete a very important task.
당금 가져간다. 그냥 들어간다. 세이브. 항상 세이브. 그냥 들어가봐 일단.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a web of branching staircases all built from unidentifiable materials. Nothing here seems to belong, and the closer you examine your surroundings, the more confused you get, your head throbbing with the effort of making sense of this place. None of the stairs even seem to go anywhere. The air here has a sickening, almost sludge-like miasma to it, the kind of indiscernible quality that comes from the blending together of every scent there is at once. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favour. Her voice, a disquieting collage of tone and personality, drags up the stairs.
Hello? Hi. What are you doing here? Are you here to kill?
No, thank you. Oh, don't be such a baby. I don't want to do this. Let's just turn around and leave. This feels wrong. This feels like a trap. We don't even have a weapon. But we already tried turning around and leaving, didn't we? And he threw up a wall. No way to go but forward. And whatever choice we make, whatever she is, we know one thing for sure. And what's that? That the fate of the world hinges on your success? There'll still be plenty of ways to ruin his day.
신났다. 반항이. 어디를 선택하지? 왼쪽으로 간다, 오른쪽으로 간다. 가운데로 가자.
You step onto the center staircase. Paths wind out around you in all directions. Each step, you concentrate on where you are. Careful not to stray onto any of the many split, and so you take one careful, focused step. But no matter the direction it goes, it certainly is the most true path. You know that much.
뭐야?
You slowly lose sense of yourself the further you go. Time disappears, and you can feel yourself begin to
정신 놓는다.
untether.
정신 놓는다.
Physical sensations dull and then vanish, until the only things experienced are the endless repeating patterns and emotions of the journey, a continuous march forward to a destination long forgotten.
안 돼.
Consumption and betrayal, skepticism and blind devotion, rivalry and submission, terror and longing, pain and unfamiliarity. And at the heart of it all, an emotion that can only be described as...
Can I help you?
깜짝이야.
What the hell was that? What happened to us? I feel so strange. Like I'm fundamentally different, but also still the same person I was at the top of the stairs. Oh well, that was a trip, but now it's over. Time to get back to our old devilish ways. The princess, eyes bright but otherwise shrouded in darkness, watches you impatiently from the other side of the basement. Don't forget why you're here. And why are we here again? In case you weren't listening, I'm afraid I lost myself on the way down. You're here to... He's just being an ass. We remember. Though I'm still not sure if we should trust you. Let's talk to her for a bit, try and get our bearings. She seems normal.
대화해보자. 내려오는 길이 이상했어. 찢어졌다가 다시 붙은 느낌인데 내게 무슨 일이 있었던 건지 아니?
I don't remember what it was like before I was in this place. Why would I know what happened to you?
뭔가 AI가 대답하는 것 같아.
Probably stuck down here forever, aren't we? There's no way out, and barely a way in.
As the princess speaks again, it's almost as if she fractures. And where there was once just one of her, there is now another. We can do that? I don't like this. It's those cabins all over again. Can we put her back? Again? Have you been here before? Should we tell him? Nah, let him stew. Right, I'm telling him. Yeah, we've been here before, but we never went to the cabin. We just turned around and left until... It's hard to describe. Until the only thing we could see was the same cabin going on forever. And then you told us that the world ended and we died. It seems to me like you saw something you weren't supposed to have seen. If only you'd listened to whatever words of wisdom you were given in that other reality.
하나 더 생기를 균형 맞게.
Whatever you saw last time,
여기 없는
unseat.
게
Whatever thoughts reasoned their way
불편하신가요?
into your head, unthink them. Oh, new plan. Let's see if we can make even more of her.
오케이. 네가 늘어났는데?
There must be something wrong with you. I'm the same as I was a moment ago.
I don't feel like I've gotten any bigger.
What's that supposed to mean?
아하,
Are you trying to
여기
get under my
생길 줄
skin?
알았지. 여기 생겼지롱.
She fractures again. I don't like where this is going. Neither do I. Which is why you need to slay her now before things get more complicated than they already are. How would we even do that? Where would we start? Could always start by retrieving the blade. Can we even leave this place? I don't like thinking about what might happen to us if we have to go back. Well, that's where the blade is. If you want it, you'll have to go and get it. I don't think we're going to be able to put her back. Kind of hurts to think about it, doesn't it? It's like everything we say just multiplies her. It certainly looks that way, so please, for the love of everything, stop asking her questions and stop stalling. You're obviously just making things worse.
와, 이게 통째로 돼 있어. 널 풀어줄게. 널 믿을 수 없어. 단검을 가져온다가 다 합쳐져 있어. 이름이 뭐야?
Princess.
공주.
You can address me as your Royal Highness or Her Majesty. And it doesn't matter. I've been down here for so long. What's the point of a
이
name if
공주는
there's
우리가
no one
만나본 적
around to
없는
use it?
공주다.
None of them have names. How astute. I told you she was untrustworthy.
김공주. 넌 이유가 있어서 갇힌 거야. 알고 있니?
Is this a quiz? If you're here, then surely you know why I'm here. But you know, right? You have to know. You're the only other person I've ever seen. Or at least the only one I can remember. Don't give me false hope.
오, 깜짝이야.
Boy, we both know why I'm locked away here. I'm a monster, and the second I get out of this place, I'm going to end the entire world.
Okay, this was fun for a bit, but we can't even really interact with her, can we? Can't even follow what's going on anymore. We need to get out of here. This whole place is making me itch.
내가 널 내보내주면 어떻게 할 생각이지?
I don't think I can answer that question in a way you'd find meaningful. I just want to live my life. I'm not going to dance for you. Besides, you already know what I'm going to do. If you want to put an end to me, then put an end to me.
Not a single real answer. At least aside from Miss Blood and Destruction. It's infuriating, isn't it? Whose buttons are there for us to press? Whose skin is there for us to get under? Not exactly how I'd put it, but I don't disagree. There must be something we can do. This is reaching its breaking point. If you don't act now, there will be nothing in here but her. Take a deep breath and focus up. But how do we decide what to do? Stop overthinking it. Your drifting thoughts have clearly been part of the reason this situation has gotten out of hand. If you're trying to do the right thing, there's only ever been the one option, and that option is slaying her. Just do something. Do anything. Do all of it, if that's what you want. This place is hell, and it's only getting worse.
간다.
Wait, that's not right. Go on. You take a step forward. Your foot lands, but it lands different. You experience a firm footfall, a
모든
gentle tread,
선택지를 한 번에
confident
느끼는
stride.
건가 봐. 그게 가능해?
You can feel yourself rupture. The room spins, your perception multiplying in a sickening kaleidoscope as your very self is pulled in incomprehensibly many directions.
그 다차원에 걸쳐져 있는 건 거지, 내가 지금 동시에.
You find the blade suddenly in your hands. All at once you use it to strike at her bindings as you remain upstairs and slay her and leave her to languish alone. Is this what the end of the world looks like? What an unbearable mess. But this... we can't... Do you not have anything witty to say? I could use a good bit of wit right now. No, I don't, because this isn't fun. How are we supposed to have fun if everything is happening at the same time? It's the same as nothing happening, and nothing is excruciating. Luckily for all, nothing and everything doesn't go on forever. The world and the princess collapse in on themselves before it all
해설자 사라진다 또.
falls apart. I think he's gone. We were never going to salvage this, were we?
What happened to us?
What
are we? There are parts of us that are dead, and the others, they just don't fit.
They just don't fit.
We can feel them moving around in spaces they don't belong. It's all so uncomfortable.
우와.
Did you do this? Did we do this? Can you pull us back apart? Fix us?
We should help her. I think we did this. How surprisingly sincere. I didn't actually think our actions had consequences. It's a little late for regret, isn't it?
Please.
최선을 다해볼게. 내 최선이. 하지만 그녀는 당신의 대답을 듣지 못할 것이다. The illusion of choice. 선택의 일루전? 그녀는 사라졌다.
Is that a...
다가간다.
이번엔 뭘까? The remains. You've unraveled. 당신은 해체됐다. 헉. 쟤는 합쳐지고 난 해체되는 거야? 아, 하기는 동시에 그 모든 부분들을 느껴야 되니까 나는 해체되겠구나. 어둠하게 간다. 으아. 으아.
There's a world beyond the endless walls of the long quiet. We're supposed to be there. Do you know what we'll find out there?
그건 수사적인 질문이야. 넌 이미 알고 있는 거야?
Rhetorical. I am not rhetorical. I have only known these spaces, and I have known flickers of the lives you've brought me, short and violent and full of passion. But all of those flickers end where the long quiet begins. I'm asking you because I cannot know your mind. Do you know what we'll find out there?
나무들과 별 그리고 사람들이 있겠지. 적어도 사람들은 있을 거야.
There is a warmth and sadness in me at the thought of people. Fresh tears on a winter's day. They are not like us. They do not last.
저 바깥에 실존하는 게 있을까? 넌 우리가 실제로 존재한다 생각해?
We are real. Nothing is an idea that dwells in the absence of something. But nothing cannot exist on its own. And because of that, nothing can't exist.
예? 이 그릇에 대해서는 어떻게 생각해?
These ones are a contradiction. A winding kaleidoscope of paths and walks. They are stretched into a shape not unlike me, but it is a shape they cannot hold. They will make for a rich and vibrant heart. Do not mourn them, for they will finally get to know themselves.
네가 깨어나면 무슨 일이 일어나지?
No, the point of awakening is to find out.
네가 날 돌려보낼 때마다 나는 혼자가 아니야. 내게 말을 거는 목소리들이 있어. 일부는 나지만 그중 한 명은 뭔가 다른 존재야. 난 그를 해설자라 불러. 그는 내가 널 죽이길 원해. 너에게도 해설자가 있니? 그릇들에게도 해설자가 있는 거야?
No, their thoughts are quiet. Do you think your narrator lives in the spaces beyond?
맞아. 그리고 그를 찾게 되면 너와 난 진실을 알게 되겠지?
Do not look to one who fears me for your truth. The only answers worth knowing are those we can find within ourselves.
어려워.
The next time I see you, each of us will finally know what we are.
한 번만 더 만나면 정체를 알게 될 거래.
Waiting.
오! 뭐가 남았을까나? A spider vessel.
You're on a path in the woods. You're here.
그럼 이제 뭐가 남았나? 보자. 내가 냉혈한도 해봤고 아니야. 사이코패스는 안 하지 않았어? 막 되게 아쿠마처럼 해야 돼. 아 그래 아까 유령. 유령 어떻게 했었던 거지?
While I appreciate the nevertheless, let me assure you, and before you decide to waste even more of our time by causality doesn't matter here. It's no use arguing semantic unless, of course.
오두막에 간다. 그냥 죽이러 그냥 죽였을 때? 그래. 내가 그래 사이코패스 엔딩 보자 했을 땐 거군요.
You take the blade.
간다.
The door to the her voice.
Who's there?
She said, "Don't let it."
죽어라!
You're still listening to reason. You walk down the stairs. She's so focused on the task.
And there you are.
죽어라!
You step forward.
Oh? No talking then. I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason. So, you should just drop it.
She's unarmed.
죽어라!
You lunge forward without a moment's. You feel flesh easily give way.
Oh, this is it, isn't it? I'm almost embarrassed.
I'm so
Do you
sorry.
actually
It's like she's yes, but it's over. But is it over?
아 그래 그랬던 것 같아. 물론이지 공주는 죽었어. 를 한 번 해서 이제 못하나 봐. 아닌데? 아까는 이거 했었는데? 당연히 아니지. 너무 쉬웠잖아. 모르겠어. 뭔가 속임수가 있는 것 같아.
We should make sure. I really
맥박제어 보기. 이게 안 돼. 네 말이 맞아. 공주는 죽었어. 여기서 이거 안 돼. 맥박을 잰다.
You lean down and place your hand against her neck, holding. We definitely won't if you keep talking.
네가 계속 쪼갈거리니까 안 들리지?
I'm sorry, do you want her to be alive? You just saved the entire world from annihilation. Why are you suddenly trying to call that into question? Wait, what was that? You know what that was? That was the sound of a heartbeat, followed by another, and another.
I guess I won't be dying alone after all.
Something sharp digs into your side, the shock of it sending your nerves into a pained frenzy. Quick, let's get out of here. It's too late for that now. You collapse to the ground as the mortally wounded princess twists a blade of her own deeper between your ribs. As you fall, she falls with you, exhausted by the effort, the little life that was left in her eyes fading rapidly.
An eye for an eye. A life for a life.
독하다
I
독해.
guess we're even now. See you around.
You were so close. Why did you hesitate? It doesn't matter. At least you managed to take her with you, for whatever that's worth. Everything goes dark, and you die.
아닌데? 칼날인데? 챕터 2 칼날.
You're on a path. You're here to.
오두막에 간다.
A warning. She will lie. It couldn't be more on the money.
배신감의
We know what
목소리.
to look, just stay.
그래, 배신감의 목소리가 있었던 것 같다.
The interior of the cabin is a jagged mess of warped wood and broken boards.
아니 이미
Their splintered edge of the
찢어지러
blade
가는.
is your.
아니 이미 단검
You take the
챙기고.
blade from the table. It feels a bit better to have a weapon in our.
똑같이 갚아주자고.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing what must once have been stairs. The fractured slats look as if they've been torn from their source and violently jammed into the wall. The air seeping up from below has an almost metallic quality to it, like the smell of fresh blood. Scraping? She's not even trying to hide her knife. It's like she wants to get in our... That sound could be anything. It's probably just her chains dragging across the floor. Her grating voice carries up the stairs.
I hope you've come to rescue me. I've been stuck down here forever.
There is something so wrong with that voice. Yeah, she thinks she's better than us, like she doesn't even have to put on an act this time. As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view, her sharp eyes following you from across the room.
Finally, somebody. Quick, get me out of these chains. We're not safe here.
Come on now, we're not falling for that, are we? She's trying to trick us, but she can't hide that threatening edge to her voice. She just wants us to get close, to let our guard down. If she sounds threatening, it's because her mask is already slipping. She knows why you're here. You are armed, after all.
What are you waiting for? You are here to rescue me, right?
내가 다가면 죽이려고?
What? No, I wouldn't stab you. I am just
너무
a
찌를 것
sweet,
같다.
innocent princess
무조건
trapped
찌른다.
here for
무조건
no
찌른다.
reason.
200% 찌른다.
And you are a brave knight who's supposed to walk up to, not stabbing distance to help me.
I have absolutely zero doubts that she is going to stab us.
응,
if
맞아.
we get
찌를 거야.
She
무조건
certainly
찌른다.
Just because she's acting like she's going to stab you doesn't mean she has the means to actually do it. But you know who is armed? But I'm nervous. All the more reason to jump into the deep end and deal with her right now before you waste any more time getting stuck in your head.
너 칼 있는 거 알아. 너 버리면 여기서 나가게 해줄게.
A knife? What are you talking about? I don't have a knife. Where would I keep a knife?
네 등 뒤에 숨기고 있잖아요.
And why would I stab you to death? I don't know you. You haven't given me a reason to stab you to death. It would be so silly of me to cut you open and look at your insides.
배를 갈아서 내장을 꺼내겠다는 거잖아요.
Okay, I could have sworn we didn't mention stabbing anyone to death. Sounds like she's really out for blood. Fortunately for you, she isn't armed.
너 지난번에 무슨 일 있었는지 기억해?
Last time? If somebody came into my house and stabbed me to death and then I killed him,
기억한다.
surely I would remember that.
기억한다.
But I don't remember it, so it must not have happened.
무조건 기억한다.
Last time? Ugh, it's like the two of you are working together on this. Aren't you listening to her? She's obviously lying through her teeth. I'm terrible at spotting lies, and even I can tell something's up here. We can't be the only ones that looped back to the start. Someone else has to remember, right? Yes, something is obviously up, and we can all tell that she's lying. The thing she's lying about is how dangerous she is, not dimension hopping or time travel or whatever it is you think you're doing.
정확히 그거잖아. 기억하고 있네.
Would I just lie? Would I just lie to your face and tell you a thing I remembered happening didn't happen just so I could stab you again? I mean, just so I could stab you for the first time.
예?
Aha! She slipped up there. She said again.
표정
and her
달라졌다.
taking
큰일
it
났다.
back doesn't. Do you hear how deranged?
증명해봐. 칼이 없다는 걸 증명해.
It would be so much easier to prove that I do have a sharp object. I could just show it to you, but I don't have one, so
공주가
I can't.
점점 다가온다고요?
The princess smiles as she pulls her hands from behind her back.
But look at this! Hands! Hands that don't have anything in them to stab you with!
Her smile stretches into an even wider grin as she shakes her sleeves.
And empty sleeves, too! Look at how few stabbing implements I have. It's practically zero.
다른 비밀스러운 곳에 숨기고 있을지도 모르잖아.
I've shown you all of my hiding spots. What kind of princess do you think I am? I would never hide something sharp somewhere secret. Wait, that sounds like I'm lying, but I'm actually not. My secret zones are for me, only they have nothing to do with you or my intention to
저
not stab
공주는
you to
직원을
death
쓸 줄
the
알아.
second you get close to me.
그래, 충분히 물어뜯을 수도
Her
있고.
smile drops for a moment, her expression sharp and flat.
I assure you, there's nothing hidden there.
알았어요. 아무것도 숨긴 게 없다는 건 알겠는데
I'm
그래도
inclined to
죽일 수
believe
있을 것
her on
같아.
that one. She seems serious.
상관없이 죽인다.
Of course, but
상관없이
that doesn't
죽인다.
mean that she doesn't.
맞아, 무기가 있어. 우리 지난번에 했어. 되풀이하고 싶지 않아.
But if we killed each other, then why are we here, right now? Both of us normal and unstabbed.
우리 그냥 서로 솔직하게 털어놓는 건 어때? 난 세계 멸망의 위협인 널 막으러 하고 넌 지난번에 심장에 칼을 맞고도 되살아나서 날 죽였어. 돌아서서 떠난다도 있네?
That doesn't sound like me.
How many more times does she have to vaguely threaten you? We're clearly still figuring out our. Oh, I'm sorry, your accent. Maybe. No,
공격하면
fine.
죽을 것 같은데. 해본다. 에란 모르겠다.
The princess falls silent, her smile unwavering as you charge across the room.
무서워요. 눈썹도 없어.
Okay, she hasn't pulled out
눈썹이
her knife
없어서
yet,
무서운
and her
건가?
hands are still behind her back. I think we can do this. I think we can win. We just have to strike now, but make sure you keep your eyes on those hands. I don't trust her for a second. But your focus is broken by the horrible sound of metal slicing through meat. Whose meat? Not ours, right? Hers at first, then yours.
Hee
히히히.
Ow! What did she even hit us with? You stare down at your chest and at the long, thin blade she impaled you with.
에?
And then the red, angry slit along the flesh of her thigh, where the blade had been nestled just a moment ago. It's still lodged in her leg, emerging from her knee, hinging up and out of her body like some extra metallic limb.
아니 저게 뭐냐고? 아니 살인 병기가 됐잖아.
Bullshit. Absolute bullshit.
지랄하네.
You're going to die now.
이게 뭐야? 이게
With a
뭐야?
twist of her knee and a painful squelch, she does just that.
아니,
Everything goes dark, and you die.
살인 연기가 됐잖아요. 군비 경제? 이제 좀 본격적으로 하는 거야?
You're on a path. in the
돌아버리겠네.
woods.
No, fuck that. If we're gonna have to keep doing this over and over and over again, we're not starting in that goddamn woods every
아,
time.
배신감이
We're
너무
starting in the
너무
fucking
얘
cabin.
너무 웃겨. 아, 대사 너무 웃기다 얘.
What? The interior of the cabin is sharp.
뭐야?
A constricting mess of curved and battered sheet
어,
metal pushing you
스킵됐어.
towards. Wait, excuse me? What just happened? I feel dizzy.
Oh, ho, ho, ho. I guess.
오,
I
이제
took this to the
배신감이가
cabin,
조종한다.
didn't I? Isn't that interesting?
Ha,
Who
ha,
holds the
ha,
cards
ha.
now?
The circle's getting smaller and smaller.
사냥감.
Running isn't an option anymore. We have to fight.
We have to
Good.
fight.
It's better that way.
싸움꾼.
Without a fight, no one can win.
싸움꾼과
And if no one can win, then
사냥감이
nothing
동시에
has
등장했다.
any meaning.
Great. So obviously you've already been here. This is our third? No wonder things have fallen apart. You do realize that every time you fail, she escapes and an entire world is damned to destruction. That can't be right. That's too much responsibility.
Nah, impossibly high stakes make the fight so much.
Let's just stay focused. The only furniture of note is a bent metal table. A pristine blade perched. We take it.
We take it.
Okay, sure. You take the blade before letting me finish telling you it's there. It would be difficult to slay the
해설자
princess and save
양반이가
the
안
world, but this
떠들어도
feels right.
알아서
We just have to keep our senses
죽이려는 파티가
sharp.
꾸려졌는데요.
That's right. We've got to be able to win eventually.
We
다들 그저
will
죽일
win eventually.
생각뿐인데요.
Hell, we might even win now.
That's a fighting spirit I like to see. You could all learn a thing or two from this one. I'd love to get started just as much as you would, but how
그러게.
are we supposed to get down there?
문이 없어.
Walk through the door. You do know what doors are.
문이
There
진짜
isn't a door, there's
없어.
just that mirror. There isn't a mirror. You really messed things up, didn't you? I can feel the air coming up from behind it, stinking of iron and steel. He might be right. Could be a trick.
If it's in our way, let's just break it.
아, 내
and
자아가
move on.
분리될수록 거울이 보이나 보다.
You make your way to the door at the end of the room, stopping just in front of it. Let's just fumble for the handle and be done with it. I don't...
닦는다.
Reach
그러네.
forward and place your hand on the door to the basement. It creaks open.
And the mirror's gone. How surprising.
It was never there. Just an illusion.
Let's just get to the princess already. I didn't care about the mirror before, and I care about it even less now.
Guess it's time for us to see her again. Just stay focused and you'll be fine.
과연
You step forward,
아이고.
but you don't get a chance to linger on the
아이고.
basement stairs.
계단이 없어.
They are smooth and flat and
그저
metallic.
미끄럼틀이었다.
An unintentional and unfortunately slippery ramp that quickly sends you skittering to the bottom. Your body tumbles onto the basement floor and the form of the princess comes into view, standing at a distance.
해보자는
She
거지.
gives you a wry smile.
해보자는 거야.
Hi, it looks like you don't have a way out, so I'm not going to play dumb anymore.
오케이, 그러세요.
But don't worry about how bad you did last time. That's part of the fun.
오케이.
She's got another thing coming if she thinks we're going down easy again.
이제 우리는 여러 명이야, 한 명이 아니야.
The only thing that matters is survival.
오케이.
Actually, does survival matter? We've died twice and nothing bad has come of it.
이제
We just need to find
오토칼이야.
a way
아, 그런 건가?
Once.
야씨, 어떻게 이기냐
Nothing
그러면?
bad has come of it yet. Plenty bad has come of it. You've left at least one entire world to ruin. The people there mattered. The past isn't real. There's only here and now. Your internal bickering is cut short by the wet
깜짝이야.
sound of slicing meat. From the princess's arms erupt twin
아,
blades
미친.
glistening with her blood.
이게
The
뭐야?
empty flesh of her arms flopping at her elbows like torn
아니.
sleeves. The chain clatters to
아니
the
이게
floor.
뭐야?
She's loose, and she is coming for you.
You're going to make me walk over to you,
온다
aren't you?
온다.
Shit. She's coming for us, and I'm out of ideas.
다시 싸울 거야? 감각을 느끼지만 않는다면 공주도 우리를 아프게 못해? 아쉽네. 유혹하면 되잖아? 공주는 칼로 된 팔이 있는데 우린 없어. 나 패닉한다. 공주가 우리 이겨야 공주가 이기는 거지? 그럼 우리가 먼저 우리를 죽이는 거야? 아니야, 정신 차려. 선택지가 전부 형편없어. 다른 걸 생각한다.
Yeah, that's right. We just have to think. There's probably an answer.
아, 그 사이에 죽겠다.
Just standing there, huh? A bold strategy.
You don't have time to finish your thought. In a moment, she's across the room, blades flashing in the dim. She's.
안돼! 안돼!
Ow!
Ow!
What a surprise! Yeah, we don't even get a second to think without her stabbing us. Oh, a new one of us. I thought that only happens when we die. Did we die?
의심이 원래 있었나?
You're on a. No, you're in a. Where the
갇혔어.
hell?
큰일 났다.
I think we're dead.
절망이다.
That's all we'll ever be. Dead, 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 dead.
이제 우리가 분열되는
Stop
건가
saying
봐.
dead, all of you. We might have died a second ago, but right now we're extremely not dead. This is all horribly wrong. How many times have you been here? This is 4. No wonder everything's such a mess. This wasn't supposed to go past 1.
I wonder what you're going to do next. You're so full of ideas, and I love that.
But I guess we don't have time to talk about things before the princess advances. Okay, whatever we do gets us another us. Let's see how many we can stand.
계속
There's
자가
gotta be
분열을
a
해서
point where it makes us
언젠간
better than
이길
her.
때까지 해보자고.
We don't need any
아메바
other
메타.
voices chattering about in here. It'll just confuse us. All we need is to keep fighting.
오케이.
Yeah, I'll pass on that. As long as we keep moving.
Come on, show me something new.
Okay, plan now.
유혹. 유혹이 되겠냐? 싸워. 효과는 없다. 그녀가 당신을 죽이고 또 죽인다. 당신의 의식이 살아나고 또 살아나는 것을 반복하며 당신의 기억은 흐려지고 당장 일어나는 싸움의 일부분만을 유지한다.
She's going to kill this body either way. So stop
냉혈.
feeling what it feels. She skewers you.
Ooh, not bad. Real tough.
냉혈의
Well,
선택지였나
there's
보다.
more of us. Let's see if that helps.
그래, 하긴 감각을 느끼지
Then you
말라고 하는
skewer
게
yourself.
그거였지. 이거는 스스로 찔러 죽이기.
I thought we both understood that dying doesn't get you anywhere.
Huh, that didn't do much of anything. We're tougher than I thought.
What's the point? It's all the same.
She skewers you.
Oh, don't give up on me just yet. You gotta keep going.
It doesn't matter how many times this takes, we can't give up. Okay, let's go again. Compliment her on those gleaming blades.
홀린자까지
There's
나왔어.
nothing better than a capable woman. She skewers you.
You're cute.
귀엽대.
See? We're getting better. Okay, yeah. That was a good one. Just panic. Flee.
편집이다.
Skewers you.
No, you don't get to escape. That's not how this works.
We're getting close to something. Can't you feel it? One last time. You're right. One last time. That's all we need. Let's appeal to her better nature.
기회주의자다.
We haven't tried that. I'm sure she'll listen to reason. She skewers you. And then everything goes dark. And you die.
우와! 상호 확증 파괴. 챕터 4가 있어요.
You're on it. Don't lose your head. We're in a cabin and we'll Everything feels like it finally fits, doesn't it? We're up here, which is different. and
이제 아예
different is
검도 들고
good.
시작해.
Oh, what if we throw it out the window? Over my dead body.
That won't be very hard. We've died a lot. But I can't say I mind anymore.
이게 어딜 봐서 오두막이니.
Besides, what better way to die so very many times than at the sharp hands of a beautiful woman?
Sure, I can think of a better way to die. Yeah, they're all the same, really. How about we stop thinking about horrible ways to die? I don't want us to accidentally manifest anything. The only thing we're gonna manifest is finally ending up on top. There are entirely too many of you. How many times have you been here? This isn't good. This is... How about you stick to describing things, and we'll stick to doing them? Yeah, leave it to the pros. We'll notch up that win in no time.
Narrator, we heroically stride through the door and towards our destined final
정신 나갈 것
encounter
같아.
with us.
Fine by me. You walk to the door and onto the basement stairs, only it's more of a slide. We know. Fine, I'll just shut up then and speed this whole thing along. Are you sure you don't want me to describe the stairs? Or this room, or
해설자 할 게
anything?
없어.
Don't care, just want to win. Fine, you make your way to the basement. where the
기회주의자
princess
빼고 다
awaits you.
봤어요.
You know, this last time I killed you, and you didn't pop right back up again? I thought I'd actually done it. I thought I'd cut you into so many pieces you just weren't able to stitch yourself back together. But I guess we're not done. That's okay with me. It's good even. I got something ready for you while you were gone. Do you want to see it?
아니요.
I'm not going to wait for an answer.
아니.
I'm just going to show you. It's worth it though. Just you wait. And not for very long.
Are you going to say what she does?
뚜뚜뚜.
Do you want me to talk now?
예.
Well, yeah, she says she has something new. I want to hear about the new thing. Yeah, me too. I think I speak for all of us when I say that I would like to hear you describe her new thing. Really? Okay then.
Here we go. Now.
The princess's skin twists, splitting into red blooms of raw meat as it stretches and tears. Then it
더 이상 공주가 아니잖아요.
becomes a wave of blood and viscera, pieces of her splattering
사람이
against the
아니잖아요.
walls. All that remains in the center of the room is a skeleton of blades.
이게 뭐야?
Heart beats furiously in its cage.
안에 심장만 남아 있어? 미친 거 아니야?
Are you ready for what comes next?
말은 어디로 하는 거야? 입술도 없으면서.
Holy shit!
She's gorgeous.
돌았나 봐.
Absolutely divine.
미쳤어.
Yes, behold the perfect woman.
Do you think we can throw her out the window? That looked painful.
오, 냉혈이 드디어 감각을 느꼈어.
How is she still alive?
그니까.
Heart's still beating, that's all she needs.
아, 심장.
This is fake. This is all fake. That's all just made up. She doesn't even have a back anymore. How are we supposed to stab her in it?
This is all just a sick joke. I hate existing.
We're screwed. I quit. I'm done. Forget it.
Narrator.
그만. 그만.
What just happened?
그만.
It's so quiet.
해설자만 남았는데 그도 비운다.
Something feels different about you. It almost makes me feel different. Like I should actually take this seriously for once.
오. 당신은 반사적으로 움직인다. 공주는 당신이 다가오자 공격하지만 그녀가 공격을 휘두르는 순간 당신은 이미 다른 곳에 있다. 이게 진정한 나의 힘이다, 공주여.
You're incredible.
그래, 이제야 알았느냐, 너와 나의 격차를. 둘의 무기는 계속 맞부딪힌다. 당신과 그녀는 자신조차 잊고 건무에 몸을 맡긴다. 마치 춤과 같은 건무만이 존재한다. 파도처럼 앞뒤로 밀리고 밀어붙인다. 챙챙. 당신이 건무에 빠져드는 만큼 심장은 더 빠르게 뛰고 전투의 양상 또한 빨라진다. 끝없이 동작이 쌓여나가고 한순간 빈틈이 생긴다. 당신의 단검이 자의를 가진 듯 움직이고 당신의 그녀의 칼도 마찬가지다. 양쪽의 공격이 모두 치명적이다. 둘 모두 살아남지 못할 것이다. 그러나 누구도 두려워하지 않는다. 이것은 해피엔딩. 어디가 해피엔딩이죠? 아, 이것이 나의 힘이다. 당신은 둘의 죽음을 보지 못한다. 영원히 떠날 시간이다. 기억이 되돌아온다. 아, 당신은 둘의 죽음을 보지 못한다. 영원히 떠날 시간이다. 그럼 이제 마지막인가 이게? 당신은 그렇게 한다. 당신이 유리에 손을 대자 침묵이 내린다. 당신은 아무것도 아니다. 아, 내 모든 걸 비워버렸지. 하지만 아무것도 아닐 리가 없다. 당신은 다시 집중해서 본다. 그러자 보이기 시작한다. 거울에 비치는 것 바로 너머에 있는 희미하고 그림자에 가려진 무언가. 넌 나야?
I think you know what I am.
제가 누군지 이미 아시잖아요. 어머!
거울의 한가운데 금이 가기 시작한다. 유리에 비친 모습이 둘로 갈라진다. 균열은 점점 더 뻗어나가려다가 결국 깨진 유리 파편이 되어 흩어진다. 어머, 네가 해설자군. 영영 못 보는 건가 해서 생각하고 있었어.
The narrator. Yes. I suppose that's my job, isn't
그러게
it?
까마귀
You
같네.
needed help after all, an objective voice to guide your blade. But you were never supposed to see me. I wonder how many worlds you've damned to extinction to fall this far.
모르겠슈. 어. 헉! 질문을 이거 조각이 다 끝나기 전에 질문을 해야 되나 봐. 세이브. 넌 무엇이지? 나랑 비슷한 존재야?
Oh, I'm nothing like you. I'm an echo, likely one of many. Somebody made you after all, and I'm what's left of him. Not that I'm the only one who can make that claim. I'm sure you've met many others like me.
아, 그래. 저와 같은 존재? 넌 이전에도 비슷한 말을 했었어. 해설자들은 전부 각자 다른 존재인 거야?
Of course. That is by both necessity
아,
and design.
그래서 기억을 못 하는 거구나.
This construct you're in exists in many places at once. Anytime you failed, anytime you thought yourself dead, it would restart and shunt both your consciousness and hers into another world. But you'll be awake soon. And then it won't be able to work like that anymore.
뭐 하고 싶은 말이라도 있어? 네 오만함으로 불러온 이 엉망에 대해서 말이야.
I do. People out there are real. No matter what you do to them, no matter what you enable, I want you to remember that.
네가 우리에게 저지른 짓이 있는데도 모두가 살 가치가 있다 생각해?
Nobody alive has done anything to you. I'm all gone. But if you and the princess want to smite the rest of them for the crimes of a dead man, if you really want to be that petty, there isn't much I can do to stop you.
미안해, 널 파괴하고 싶진 않아. 내가 질문을 멈추면 되는 거야?
We've already crossed the point of no return. There's no saving me now. Not that there's ever been much of me to save.
어라. 역시 루프에 대해 알고 있었군. 널 수도 없이 만났는데 그때마다 넌 부정했잖아. 왜 내게 거짓말을 했지?
Any other version of me you talked to was just that, a version of me. It wasn't me. As to why they lied, perhaps they thought that admitting to it would have pushed you to certain realizations that would have made finishing your task impossible. Maybe they were just in denial. I'm sure many of them were convinced that they had to be the first version of them you'd encountered. Anything else would have been too existentially unpleasant.
그래서 첫 번째이고 싶다고 했던
For all I
거구나.
know, each of those other versions of me could have had entirely different understandings of how this construct works. Except for me. I can tell you for a fact that I'm right.
자기는 옳대. 그게 기본값인가 봐. 네가 날 만들었다고? 그럼 난 뭐지?
You're the long quiet, the god I made to rid the world of death.
죽음의 세계를 막기 위해 창조한 신이라고?
Soon I'll be gone entirely, and you'll be left alone with your final choice. So allow me to make my final request. The princess contains death itself within her, but I wove you into being with all the power you need to destroy her forever. Do it. Slay her, and rid the world of death and suffering.
헉. 어째서 내가 세계의 죽음을 없애길 원하지?
If you need to ask that question, there's nothing I can say to move you. You haven't died. You cannot die. So you cannot grasp the abject horror of dying.
하나. 작가의 죽음? 아, 질문 다 쓰면은 그렇게 되나 봐. 공주가 뭔지 끝났어. 난 그녀를 죽이지 않을 거야. 네가 완전히 죽기 전에 알려주고 싶었어. 그래.
Well, there's no reasoning with a god, even one you've woven into existence yourself. I've said my piece, and my time is up. It's like I said, I'm just an echo, and echoes always fade away.
마지막 유리 파편이 깨지자 당신은 새로운 깨달음을 얻는다. 해설자의 말대로 당신은 정막, 새로 태동하기 시작한 무한한 신, 그리고 이제 깨어날 시간이다. 이 모든 것은 당신이다. 마지막으로 한 번 더 오두막으로 간다. sharp vessel. 아까 그 칼날 그릇 하면 되나봐요. 당신은 모든 것의 심장부에 도착하지만 그곳에는 마지막 그릇이 없다. 아무것도 보이지 않는다. 그러게. 어디 갔냐? 오! 우와!
I can finally see you, and you can finally see me. It's been so long, and my heart has ached for this moment. I've missed you dearly.
나도 네가 그리웠어. 메아리에 대해 알아? 우리의 대화를 들었니?
Every word you spoke found its way to me. I know him, and I know his construct. He was deluded by his fear of death. Pay him no mind.
나는 정막이야. 하지만 그게 무슨 의미인지 모르겠어.
Names are their attempts to capture that which cannot be captured. They call me the shifting mound, a pale imitation of what I actually am.
이제 무슨 일이 일어나지? 와, 질문 2개밖에 못해.
Ever the passive player, always reacting and never acting. But it's woven into your nature, isn't it?
뭐?
When the echo spun us from one into two, he gave you a choice and me a role to play. I am not death, but I contain it in my multitudes. So, will you attempt to destroy me and bring about a world devoid of death and the possibility of meaning? Or will you open the final doors to our liberation?
아직 해결하지 못한 이야기가 너무 많아. 그냥 떠나도 되는 거야?
Even as your eyes begin to open, you still hold on to the notions of is and is not, of beginning and end. Pitch black islands in the blinding light of the infinite. There is nothing to resolve, nothing restraining us but us.
이 모든 것에 대해 할 말 없어? 왜 나만 이 모든 책임을 지는 거야?
Of course I have a say in all of this. You and I share reflections of each other's burdens, just as you and I share reflections of each other's gifts. If we didn't, the winding paths that brought us here wouldn't have been full of strife and conflict.
내가 뭘 하든 넌 이렇게 될 운명이었는데 그럼 내가 지금껏 한 일에 의미가 있긴 해? 이 순간까지 내가 내려온 결정들이 의미가 있긴 한 거야?
If you're saying that, it's because you don't yet understand. But we cannot use words alone to grasp at things that words cannot express. And you, violence and passion are dances that both of us know well.
예?
If this is what it takes to enlighten you, then so be it.
아니, 왜 갑자기 그러세요? 또! 칼 꺼내지 마!
A boundless torrent of blades catch you from boundless angles.
God
You are
damn.
body. You are gory ribbons. You are body again. And you feel all of it. On and on it goes until your bodies are not your thoughts, are not you. Alive, dead, alive, dead, alive, dead, then alive and dead, and alive and dead, all at once. You learn to put yourself away and to follow the flow of reality. And you used it to rise above me. You died countless steely deaths, and you lived countless short lives, and yet it is all so far behind you. Unjust impossibilities pushed you to become something you would never have been without them.
네가 그 그릇을 데려가지 않았다면 우린 서로를 죽였을 거야. 우린 자멸할 운명이었어.
Were we self-destructive, or did the beauty of our dance reach beyond the shadow of death? It was lethality that made us what we were.
The masses mob you. There is no beginning to them, nor is there an end. There is only the flood of bodies. And every moment you hold every possible sensation at once, and then you hold them all again. And in the end, you returned it to me. For a brief moment, you were everything. A chaos that needed ordering. But without chaos, there is no reason.
넌 고통스러워 보였어.
내가 저지른 짓에 대해 사과할게. 하지만 그럴 수밖에 없었어.
I saw with a single pair of eyes what I needed dozens to comprehend. And now here we are, each with millions of eyes, and all of them opening to what we are. To question everything is to deny the proof of reality that lies in front of you. By believing in your suffering, you make your suffering real. In believing in your limitations, you placed a shackle.
아, 우리가 족쇄에 집중을 해서 갇혔지.
But even then, you remembered the impermanence of the material and watched as the walls of your prison decayed into nothing. To be impermanent is not to end, but to change. And for the world to be impermanent is to make finite the suffering of all things. Would you strip that gift away and leave them all to suffer in their permanence?
그들은 극복할 거야. 언젠가 불멸의 축복임을 알게 될 거야. 이거는 얘를 죽이는 거지. 싸움을 일찍 끝내고 항복한다. 그건 고문이야. 난 싸우지 않겠어. 싸우지 않겠어.
Conflict and discomfort have defined the flow of everything between us. To deny it is to deny your truth.
으아!
I kill you, you kill me. Back and forth we go. Faster and faster and faster. I kill you, you kill me. Hollow eyes watch from the
불타지
dark
않은
corners
공주를
of
볼
my
수
mind.
있었는데.
A home built on all the futures that were supposed to be. Preserved until the moment of reunion.
안 돼.
The fire of the heart sets it all ablaze. I kill you and me. An ending is a passion that can only be expressed with a moment in time. It is a seed for a new beginning. To linger on an ending is to rob it of its life. And without me, all that's left to do is linger.
내 감정은 중요하지 않아. 죽음, 고통, 그리고 망각은 다른 이들에게 주어져서는 안 돼. 우리가 죽음을 초월할 수 있다면 그건 다른 이들에 대한 책임도 있다는 뜻이야.
The echo saw horror as his eyes were closed. The majesty of being extends beyond any single perspective.
뭐야 저거? 아!
Suspended in the gravity of an idea that threatens to consume you. And you are alone. A tiny island caught between the death of the old world and the birth of the new. But alone is not helpless. When you were confronted with
무서워.
apotheosis, you chose against all odds to defy me, to hold on to your inner self with all its flaws, even in the scorching light of my divinity. Without me, there are no externalities to resist, and it is struggle that carves meaning into consciousness.
이렇게가 끝이야. 네가 저 그릇이었을 때가 그리워. 난 여전히 너에게 거역하겠어. 넌 스스로의 자아에 잡아먹혔어. 착각으로 인한 고통도 결국은 고통이야. 지금의 우리가 어떤 존재인지 중요하지 않아. 우린 서로를 아프게 하고 그건 잘못했어. 우리는 고통에서 세상을 탄생시키면 안 돼.
Their suffering is born of their own delusion.
당신과 그녀의 갈등이 가라앉자 공주가 온화해진 표정으로 미소를 짓는다. 이제 가라앉은 건가 봐.
Everything that is exists only in relation to everything it isn't. There is no constant. There is no center. Open your eyes and accept what we are. We can leave this prison together.
모든 것을 위해 서 있다 보면 자신의 생각만이 옳다고 착각하기가 쉬워지지. 와, 되게 많아.
It is from my vantage point that I can see the totality of truth.
그래? 여길 떠나면 어떻게 될 거라 생각해?
This universe dies and a new one is born. And that one dies and a new one is born. And you and I get to witness it all. Weaving a tapestry of life wherever we go.
죽인다. 난 널 죽이지 않을 거지만 풀어줄 수도 없어.
네 관점을 내게 관철시키기 위해 모든 걸 시도했지만 정작 너는 내 관점을 무시하고 있어. 네가 날 바꿀 수 있다 생각한다면 나 또한 널 바꿀 수 있겠지. 오.
What I offer you is not perspective. It is truth.
Whatever you're trying to do right now, you don't have to do it alone.
목소리다. 너는 어떤 영웅이지?
I'm all of them. I assume in the same way that you're all of you.
네 목소리가 얼마나 반가운지 넌 꿈에도 모를 거야.
It's good to be here. She's too many things all at once out here. If you want to get through to her, you need some way to get through all of that divine confidence. There's still a piece of me nestled close to where it all began. I can take you there. I can take you to her heart.
오.
It's time to resume our dance.
She's relentless, isn't she? Let's make this quick.
준비됐어.
Then let's go.
오. 집. 오두막.
And here we are. I'd say we were back where it all started, but I guess it's a little after that, isn't it? Do you need me to describe things?
그래. 옛날 느낌 나잖아.
Yeah, of course. The interior of the cabin is, well, it's a cabin, yeah? There isn't much here, just a table and a knife and a door. You know, come to think of it, I don't think he ever really mentioned the windows, did he? There's no mirror, either. I think you broke it. And I know you're still trying to find some middle ground, but if things go south, we're going to need that blade.
여긴 너랑 나뿐이야? 오두막에 도착한 다른 녀석은 없어?
It's just us. I think the rest of them are still out there, jumbled up in the rest of her.
해설자는 정말 사라진 거야?
Yeah, it's dead silent in here. Whatever it was that was left of him, I don't think it could handle you waking up to godhood. Pretty sure he got obliterated.
사실 그 녀석이 사라져서 좋은지 나쁜지를 모르겠어.
Yeah, it's complicated. He put us through hell, but he's been part of us since the very beginning, hasn't he?
단검을 가져간다. 지하실에 들어간다. 오, 이것도 세이브할 수 있어. 영웅이가 챙겨보자고 했으니까
That's
가져가야겠다.
probably for the best. It's always seemed to give us more options than not.
그래.
The stairs. Do you remember the first time we were here? The first time we heard her voice?
Have you figured out what you want to do yet, or are you going to keep trying to find a center that doesn't exist?
It sounded just like that. A little sharp, a little menacing. Only she didn't know us. And down we go. We shouldn't keep her waiting.
Hey.
And there you are, knife in hand. It really brings me back. Have you given up on talking? Have you finally decided to kill me? You'll have all of eternity to yourself after this. Why don't we chat a little before I go?
그러네. 사슬이 안 채워져 있네. 앞에 앉는다. 넌 바깥에 저거랑 같은 존재니?
No. I feel like I'm myself again.
오. 나는 신이 되고 싶진 않아.
Honestly, me neither.
그래? 나는 아무도 해치고 싶진 않아. 방법이 있을 텐데.
Well, I don't want to be at the end of that knife, so how about we figure something out? What if we tried doing this forever? I can do whatever you think I can, right? So make me put it all back. Make me fix the Echo's construct and make me wipe our memories of everything that's happened. Make me send us back to the beginning, before we woke up. Before either of us saw the truth.
Can she really do that? Are you sure that's what you want?
되돌리는 게 저 바깥에 있는 사람들에게도 도움이 될까? 네가 계속 존재한다면 결국 그들은 계속해서 죽고 고통받지 않아?
Fixing that is on you, not me. If you want me to help them, you'll have to make me help them.
널 잊고 싶진 않아.
That's sweet. But unless you do, the whole world ends, right? Not like I care, but it seems important to you.
그래, 나한테 중요한 일이야. 결국은 여기로 돌아오게 될 텐데. 우리가 이데아를 이미 한 적이 없다고 어떻게 믿어?
I don't think that's something we'll ever get to know. but odds are we've probably done it before.
그니까 모든 게 더 나빠지면 어떡해. 내가 다음번에는 지금과 다르다면? 이것으로 돌아온 다음에 널 해치면? 널 죽이면? 네가 모든 걸 멸망하도록 두면 어떡하지?
Who cares? We've hurt each other plenty and I still like you.
왜?
And if you're hesitating, then you must still like me too.
갑자기 로맨스. 우린 이걸 영원히 반복하게 될 거야. 언젠간 뭔가 달라지겠지. 우리가 생각을 바꾸면 어떡해?
Well, if we change our minds, we change our minds. What matters is that we'll always have a choice. This is just the one we're making now.
공평하지 않아. 난 너와 이곳에 있고 싶어. 다시는 혼자가 되고 싶지 않아.
Neither do I. But we won't be alone for long. I'll be right here, waiting for you.
결국엔 여기로 돌아오게 될 거야.
And if we do, nothing is stopping us from making the same choice. We could just keep doing this forever.
우선 뽀뽀부터? 다른 방법은 없는 거야?
You brought that knife down here for a reason. Either you use it to kill me or I use it to put things back.
전부 취소할게. 난 이걸 원하지 않아. 널 죽이고 싶지도 않아. 다시 신으로 돌아가기엔 너무 늦은 거야?
Yeah, I think it's too late for that. But maybe next time.
아, 그래? 어떡하지? 그래, 알았어. 아, 그럼 처음부터 다시 한다는 거잖아. 와! 그치? 이 짓을 또 하자는 거잖아. 그치, 공주야. 이 짓을 또 하자는 거잖아. 아닌가? 믿어봐야 되나? 일단 찾아? 일단 죽여봐.
You and me both.
나도 마찬가지야.
Whatever world you want to build without me, I hope it works out. Despite our differences, I've always loved you, and I wish you nothing but the best.
눈을 깜빡이자 공주는 사라진다. 남은 것은 당신의 심장 한 구석에 자리 잡은 조그맣고 슬픈 약간의 무게뿐. 당신과 공주가 탄생하던 순간 둘은 서로의 조각을 서로의 일부분으로서 간직했다. 당신이 그녀를 완전히 파괴함으로써 당신은 자신의 일부 또한 파괴했다. 그러나 세계는 멸망하지 않았다. 계속된다.
She's gone. And I don't think she's coming back.
맞아, 돌아오지 않아. 그녀의 작은 조각이 우리 안에 남았어.
Is that a metaphor or are you being literal? It doesn't matter. We don't need to linger down here anymore. Let's get going.
영웅이는 그건 안 느껴지나 봐. 당신은 지하실을 뒤로 하고 떠난다. 그리고 계단을 오른다. 그리고 오두막을 나선다.
It's quiet here.
바깥의 숲과 길은 텅 빈 캠퍼스가 되어 있다. 하지만 무언가가 더 있다. 당신의 고난이 맺은 열매, 죽음으로부터 해방된 세계. 자신을 해방한다. 고대의 생명체인 당신의 육체가 긴 동면에서 깨어난다. 한때는 존재한지도 몰랐던 팔과 다리가 느껴진다. 여기에 있는 모든 것이 당신이다. 당신은 우주적인 규모의 날개를 느낀다. 그러나 유한한 공간 속에 구겨지고 뒤틀려 고통스럽게 묶여있다. 당신은 구성체가 당신에게 좁혀오는 것을 느낀다. 당신의 무한한 몸을 유한하게 만들려고 하고 있다. 당신은 저항한다. 그러나 밀어낼 수가 없다.
He's gone. She's gone. No one is left to trap us here but us.
심장을 열고 당신의 새로운 왕국을 목도한다. 일순간 밀리지 않던 장벽이 한꺼번에 부서진다. 오! 산산이 부서진다. 당신은 자유롭다. 당신의 앞에는 무한한 절대적 현실의 지대가 펼쳐져 있다. 당신의 손을 수없이 피로 물들인 고난의 순환 끝에 당신의 의지로 만들어낸 새로운 절대적인 현실. 그러나 새로운 세계에는 더 이상 피를 흘릴 일은 없을 것이다.
It's finally over, isn't it? But all of us are still here. Absolute reality. Who would have thought there was really a world outside of us? And who would have thought we'd actually wind up siding with him? The whispering, and the coercion, and the bickering. Everything horrible about being alive has stopped. I could get used to this.
That wasn't very hard at all. Speak for yourself.
I hope this was all worth it.
because I'm personally inconsolable. Lucky for us, you have forever to get over
근데
it.
이러면은 오두막에 영원히 갇혀 있는 거랑 뭔 차이야?
It's good to be back. Now we just have to figure out what to do with ourselves. Forever. No problem. We can do that, yeah? Yeah. We can do that.
A new and unending dawn. 끝나지 않는 새로운 새벽. 어허. 흑기님 덕분에 즐겁게 했습니다. 감사합니다. Our song. 불러오기. 돌아가. 살려.
Okay. If this is your choice, then I have
널
your back.
사랑해. 와!
Guess I'll see you on the other side.
널 사랑해 엔딩.
She takes the blade from our hand, a fondness in her gaze.
나한테만 박지 마라. 사랑해.
Oh, I love you too.
반응이 왜 그래? 나 그것만 하지 말라고 했지.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And you're here to
아니. 어둠아 조용히 가봐. You're on a path in the woods. 아, 그냥 이렇게 끝나는 거군요. 돌아가는 걸로. 아니. 다짜고짜 죽이고 돌아보지 않고 도망치는 거? 아. 죽이고
you lunge, you feel flesh.
푸슉. 그리고 도망가기.
It's we should make I really and wash I've told you.
나가자.
Yes, exactly. It's with your work done off. You did, but that day
원한다.
you opened the cabin door. Oh, what? Everyone.
아하.
This is what's time passed. Really? More, please. The little eventually.
해피엔딩.
You have already committed to my completion.
Good. The black he's right. You don't.
나간다.
Fine. The princess's body. You pick up the blade. The end.
The end. 아, 됐다. 챕터 2 유령.
You're on a path. You're here.
오두막에 간다.
Oh, she will lie. She won't.
냉혈.
The interior of the cabin is cold. A soft odor of dirt permeating the air. Cop, the blade is your. It feels like no one's been. Like I've been saying.
무서우니까 저장. 거울.
There is. Who cares?
뭘 속이려는 건지
As do
알아야겠어.
I. I'm not lying.
거울에 다가간다.
It's real.
거울을 닦는다.
You reach forward and rub
이게
your hand.
무슨
It was there a
의미일까?
second, now it's gone. Let's not
저
spend
거울이
much longer
해설자라는
worrying
거지,
over
그치?
it. Clearly, it's not even important enough to be acknowledged.
단검을 가져간다.
You take the.
들어간다.
The door to the basement groans open, revealing an old banister and a creaky wooden stairwell. Everything is coated in a thick layer of dust. The room below is silent. Nobody's here. Naturally. As much as I appreciate the optimism, you shouldn't be so sure. I guess we'll just have to go down and see. As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view. A skeletal body lying in a heap on the floor. It's okay. She's definitely dead. It's just like I told you. Before you have a chance to finish your thought, the top of a head appears from underneath the floor. Two deep-set
귀여운데?
eyes stare up at you, followed by a mischievous
귀여운 유령인데?
skeletal grin. And
하이.
finally, the rest of the body floats up to join the
유령
head.
신부 같고 좋은데?
Wait, this isn't right. What's going on here?
Ghost!
Oh. Wow. How absolutely terrifying. What's a ghost supposed to do to us?
귀여운 버전.
It's you. Hiya, killer. I was hoping to see you again. I have some issues with how our last meeting went.
아,
The princess
다가온다.
drifts across
다가온다.
the room into your orbit, gently running her fingers across your shoulders and down your neck as she circles you. Her touch is cold and ethereal, formless yet real enough that her icy fingertips send shivers dancing across your skin. So she has a body, and she's right there. That means we could kill her again.
잠시 상황을 지켜본다.
I see you brought that annoying knife again. So, are you waiting for a chance to use it? Or are you here for something else?
왜 되살아났는지 알고 계세요?
How should I know? Why does anyone come back? Maybe I have unfinished business with you. Or maybe you have unfinished business with me. All I know is there's a hole in my chest. Not the big obvious one that you put there. There's something older and deeper.
어허.
A nagging reminder that I'm not where I'm supposed to be.
그러게. 나도 죽었는데 너처럼 떠다니지 않는데 왜 너랑 나랑 다르냐?
You don't look dead, killer.
Killer.
The princess grabs your wrist, a sudden shock of cold flowing all the way up your arm, her eyes still fixed on yours as you try to squirm out of her grip.
And you don't feel dead either.
She lets go and pulls away. Your fingertips tingle painfully as the chill subsides.
I'm less interested in why you are or how you are, and a lot more interested in what you are. I've tried to leave on my own. Before you came back to me, I explored every inch of this place, even the spaces between the walls. But I never found
언니
it
말할 때
out.
팅글 장난 아니에요.
I always wound up right back here.
어우, 귀 간지러워요.
I just want to go home. I'm so cold and alone here. But you can come and go as you please, can't you?
빙의?
So,
빙의 엔딩?
let me hitch a ride.
Absolutely not. Is she asking if she can possess us? She is. And I hope I don't need to explain why you can't let that happen. Would she be able to see us if we went along with it? Now, isn't that an interesting thought? We could finally bring her face to face with him. I wonder what she would have to say to the one who wants her dead so badly. You won't like how things play out if you go down this path.
그래? 네가 내 몸에 들어오고 나서도 난 내 몸의 통제권을 가질 수 있어?
Sure, why not?
That doesn't sound very reassuring. It could be the best way to trap her. That is a...
네가 여기 나가면 어떻게 될 건지 이야기를 들을 필요가 있어.
And what? You just believed that? You killed me without giving it any thought? That's cold.
That's
I'm
rich
so
coming from
sorry.
her. Every time she touches us, it's like we freeze over. She's right, though, but that's neither here nor there.
오케이. 그래서 멸망시킬
The only
거야?
thing I ever wanted was to leave this place. It's still the only thing I want.
그래. 그냥 이제 됐어. 그래.
You poor thing. That must have been so frightening for you.
You know, after everything we've been through, it's nice to see someone finally sympathizing with us. This whole thing's been an ordeal. She doesn't mean it.
It serves you right.
I was pretty scared too, when you stood there not saying a word with a knife clenched in your fist. But now you know how bad it hurts to get stabbed in the chest.
It sounds like you got exactly what you're owed.
왔다 갔다 하시네. 좋아. 한번 빌려줄게.
The princess swims through the air in front of you, pausing for a brief moment as her dark-rimmed eyes stare deeply into yours. There's a hunger in her gaze.
You're really trying to make it up to me, aren't you? Thanks for being a pal, killer. I mean it.
What are you doing? Don't just let her in. How many times do I have to tell you?
See you soon.
She rushes forward and then she's gone. A sharp chill spreads across your body. It starts in your chest, a freezing numbness flowing out from your heart, all the way down your limbs, your mind growing cloudy and confused as it settles over your very soul.
I'm not sure I like this. Can we get a do-over?
아!
I'm afraid it's too late to stop now.
아!
The numbness gives way to a stabbing pain.
아니,
your muscles twitching and
나 그
convulsing
해설자 양반이랑
violently,
1대1
each
면담하시라고
involuntary
오케이 한
movement
건데.
causing more waves of agony to ripple across
아니,
your
이런
body.
엔딩.
You collapse to the floor, and everything goes dark.
Come on, you. You've got to get up. I know everything feels heavy right now, but we still have to get out of here.
Your eyes flick back open as you get your bearings, your vision swimming as...
So this is what it's like to be you, huh? Disembodied voice narrating your every move?
So, it doesn't work like that for you?
Clearly it doesn't, or she wouldn't have commented on it.
All these shards of broken glass on the floor. Are they also supposed to be you?
깨진 유리 조각들?
Hey, I'm not a shard of broken glass.
It's okay. You can finish your thought.
I'm a voice? I'm me is what I am.
Who cares what we are? We exist. That's all that matters.
You don't have to fight. We'll all be out of here soon.
No, it matters. What we are matters. If I'm a shard of broken glass, then that raises some questions about certain other voices in here too.
I'm clearly the same thing you are.
They're not listening to me. Do they not listen to you either?
No, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about him.
You don't need to know what I am. You just need to know that I'm different from you. More important.
So, you're the one who pulled the strings and made me dead. I can tell you don't belong here. You're barely even there. Like the shape of something left behind. You're more of a memory than a person.
That's rude.
You're kind of like me, actually.
I'm just going to ignore her. You push yourself off the ground.
Oh.
The princess is nowhere to be seen. Obviously, she's nowhere to be seen.
Because I'm in here with all of you. Everybody knows that.
I'm setting the stage. The room is empty because you made a spiteful, idiotic, and all-round foolish decision.
You don't have to let him get to you. You're better than that. You're starting to make
아,
things
더
right.
시끄러워졌어요.
This is infuriating. Just
괜히
whatever
허락했어요.
you do, you can't leave this place. It's not too late to fix this.
머리가 너무 어지러워. 목소리가 너무 많아.
It's okay. We're almost out of here. Just take it one step at a time and everything will be fine.
Everything won't be fine if you listen to her. One way or another, this is all going to end.
Wouldn't that be nice? There's only one way to find out.
떠난다.
Your legs, weary with the weight of the princess's spectral form and clumsy with the cold that still pervades them, stumble towards the stairs.
I'm just trying to get home. You don't have to act like it's the end of the world.
But that's exactly what you leaving this place is going to be.
You don't know that.
I do.
Wait, if she has a home to go back to, doesn't that mean that her leaving won't end the world?
It doesn't mean that at all. It could mean that wherever her home is, it's outside of the world.
Yeah, but it has to be somewhere, doesn't it? And if it's somewhere, then it's part of the world.
I suppose it's all a matter of perspective. Where does the world end and something else begin? Does the destruction of one open a door to another? Or is it the same? Against the backdrop of the inane conjecture of meaningless little voices,
나왔어.
your body continues its ascent up the stairs. For how much you hate her, you aren't doing a whole lot to stop us from leaving this place.
Maybe the bossy one doesn't actually hate me. Maybe he even likes me. Or maybe he just knows that he's been in the wrong.
Not at all. I'll have you know that I do hate you, and I will continue to hate you for as long as I am able.
그렇게 말하지 마,
It's just the
해설자야.
weight of it all. It's too much for me to do anything other than describe and dictate.
그건
And
그렇지.
whine. This body wasn't made to hold you and the princess. If you want to renege on your cataclysmically terrible decision a minute ago, well, you're the only one that can make that happen.
몸을 끌어 나아간다.
You continue slowly to the door, your feet like lead dragging across the floorboards, growing heavier with the...
We're so close. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If we get out of here, I won't even care that you murdered me anymore.
오케이.
You lift your shaking hand and rest it on the door handle. But you pause before you open it. Exhaustion sapping what's left of your
여기서
will.
탈진을 쓰냐고.
Was exhaustion really the best you could muster up? It's over. There's no use stalling.
그래. 문을 연다.
Shit. The exhaustion wasn't enough, was it?
탈진으로는 안
The handle
되는군요.
clicks as you twist it. And then the door groans open. Collapse to the ground. You and the princess, free from the confines of the cabin. As you exhale from the effort, you look up and see...
사라졌다 해설자.
Yes?
Nothing. He's gone, and so is everything else.
So we did slay him after all. He had it coming. But what about us? Are we just stuck here in nowhere forever? Did taking her out of the cabin really end the world? We're still here. Yeah, but that thing you said earlier, are we not part of the world anymore? Are we in some world that exists after the world ends, or on top of the other world but not in it, or...
Okay, I've heard enough from these two. Let's see if I can pop out.
나간다 이제. 히치하이커 도전과제 달성. 움푹 패인 두 눈동자가 솟아오르며 당신을 바라보자 당신은 가슴이 한결 가벼워졌음을 느낀다.
You actually freed me, didn't you? I'm outside. Thanks for giving me a second chance, killer.
킬러 말고 그냥 Hey man이라고 불러.
I think this is where I'm meant to be.
그렇게 사라지는구만. 아하.
She's gone. And there's that...
아하. 이거는 뭘까?
This...
당신은 성장했다. 이것도 성장이네. 두 번째가 어쨌든 성장인 거 아니야, 그냥? 최종 엔딩에서 저게 궁금하다니까 그럼 그것까지만 해볼게. 여기서 칼을 들고 가지 말자는 거지? 그냥 지하실에
No blade it
들어간다.
is. I'm not sure what we'll be able to do without it. The stairs.
Have you figured out what you want to do yet?
It sounded just... And
내려간다.
down we go.
그럼 그냥
We shouldn't
사랑할
keep
수
her
있나?
waiting.
And there you
널
are.
사랑해.
Hands empty. Maybe there's still room for us to chat before the final curtain call. What do you say?
앞에 앉는다. 그냥 앞에 앉는다밖에 없네 이러면. 내 생각에 우리에게 남은 길은 떠나는 것뿐이야.
Do you know where this cabin is? Because I don't. I don't even know what's supposed to be outside other than us. What would even happen if we leave? What would that even mean?
우리 둘이 오손도손 애도 낳고 나 원래 너랑 떠나고 싶었어. 신이 되고 싶지 않아. 그냥 우리인 채로 이 오두막 문에 나서고 싶어. 너랑 나 단둘이서. 무슨 의미인지 모르기 때문에 하고 싶은 거야. 우린 거의 모든 걸 알고 있지만 이것만은 모르잖아. 난 새로운 게 알고 싶어. 그게 무슨 의미인지 중요하지 않아. 중요한 건 우리가 함께 떠난다는 거야. 그게 내가 원한 전부야. 다 하고 싶다. 그냥 말없이 손을 잡는다. 그런가 봐. 근데 어떻게든지 같이 떠나자는 건데 이제 의미는 다양하게 있는 건 거지. 말없이 손만 잡으면 공주가 알아서 해석하겠지? 이 뜻인지 본인이 원하는 대로 해석하겠지? 말없이 손을 잡는다. 얼굴을
Okay,
붉힌다.
Let's leave.
통했다.
I think I'm gonna stay right here. Whatever you're doing right now, wherever you're going, it feels like it's for just the two of you.
오, 영웅이도 떠나. 진짜 나랑 공듀만의 다음 단계인 거야. 전부 고마워.
Don't mention it. Thanks for making all the hard choices along the way.
오, 이런 엔딩이 있었군요. 바이바이. 손을 맞잡은 채로 당신과 곤듀는 마지막으로 지하실을 떠납니다. 계단을 올라가자 평소엔 폭력과 위협과 목소리들로 가득했던 공간에 편안한 정적이 흐릅니다.
하지만 그 정적에는 무언가 힘이 담겨 있습니다. 미지에 대한 기대감이지요. 계단의 끝에서 공주가 멈춰섭니다. 시선은 오두막 문을 향해 고정되어 있습니다. 그녀의 손이 떨리는 게 느껴집니다. 곤듀의 짧고 긴 삶들의 여정 속에서 그녀는 처음으로 자신을 확신하지 못합니다. 그녀는 더 이상 맡아야 할 역할이 없기 때문이죠. 하지만 그럼에도 그녀는 여전히 곤듀입니다. 이내 그녀는 문을 향해 나아갑니다. 들뜬 듯이 당신의 손을 끌어당깁니다.
This is it. I have no idea what it's going to be like out there. Not that I'm scared or anything. It's exciting, really. Anything could happen. And if it's bad, then it won't be bad. Not with you.
널 사랑해. 와! 사랑해.
I love you too.
아하! 아하!
But I'm trying not to be sappy about it. Don't make me get all emotional.
츤츤대는 타입이군. 그런 해피엔딩이 있는 것이었다.